Salona we on mama, make we no puella. Don't sign no day na this world. Wait it and tongue no go jam. If we take 10 kill the ants them, we go see them go. Salona we on, uncle, not to one my own. Salona we on, auntie, now we all get out. It been there before we born. It go there after we don't go. Make we try for make 'em better, but then one way go get for car. Salona we on, young boy, make we not well out. Salona we on, young girl, make we not well out. One hand bangles not the shape, one finger not the pick loss. If we all engage together, it go better for me and you. Salona we on, brother, make we not well out. Salona we on, sister, make we not well out. Grandpa then left and give we, for make we safe pass among. Refugee not to find title, elect you catch na 5-star hotel. Salona we on, diaspora man and woman. Salona we on, local man and woman. When we talk before we think, we must kill before we born. Make we left for take we must, then turn we country to be graveyard. Salona we on, fambu, make we not well out. Salona we on, fambu, make we not well out. All other side then they be waiting till we just dey for well. When we make we come to look, but that no do for make we look good. Salona we on, na Papa God himself give we. Salona we on, he not give we for make we well. When strangers say they can't help, now then self they come for help. Make we left for make them take we fat, fry we for feed we back. Salona we on, na Papa God himself give we. Salona we on, he not give we for make we well. When strangers say they can't help, now then self they come for help. Then go take them make we feel good, and sit down na corner they laugh. Salona we all on, for now when so they go. Salona we on, Papa, Salona we on, Mama, Salona we all on, for now when so they go. Salona we on, Papa, make we not well out. Salona we on, Mama, make we not well out. Don't sign no day na this world. Wait it and tongue no go jam. If we take 10 kill the ants them, we go see them go. Salona we on, uncle, not to one my own. Salona we on, auntie, now we all get out. It been there before we born. It go there after we don't go. Make we try for make 'em better, but then one way go get for car. Salona we on, young boy, make we not well out. Salona we on, young girl, make we not well out. One hand bangles not the shape, one finger not the pick loss. If we all engage together, it go better for me and you. Salona we own, brother, make we not well out. Salona we own, sister, make we not well out. Grandpa then left and give we, for make we safe pass among. Refugee not to find title, elect you catch na 5-star hotel. Salona we own, diaspora man and woman. Salona we own, local man and woman. When we talk before we think, we must kill before we born. Make we left for take we must, then turn we country to be graveyard. Salona we own, fambu, make we not well out. Salona we own, fambu, make we not well out. All other side then they be waiting do we just dey for well. When we make we country look bad, that no do for make we look good. Salona we own, na Papa God himself give we. Salona we own, he not give we for make we well. When strangers say they can't help, now then self they come for help. Make we left for make them take we fat, fry we for feed we back. Salona we own, na Papa God himself give we. Salona we own, he not give we for make we well. When strangers say they can't help, now then self they come for help. Then go take them make
hello.
And sit down now.
My check. Good morning. Morning everybody. Dear, we just want for learn and no say we will start in the next 10 minutes. For the one that we didn't do, dear, if una don't sign and una don't do the few things on and need to do, we encourage everybody for come inside because we want for start on time, exactly at 11 o'clock. We're starting. Yeah, so just a few other housekeeping rules so I want for let people sabi. If anybody interested for use the restroom, if you go out of them doors there, you see one small corridor, you walk through them. I think it is 2 doors on your right. So just so people know, I mean you can able for access the restroom there. And then one more thing again. This program is going to be done na Creole with the duam. Now I understand say and one of the reasons that we to make our coats becoming not a coat person now because you get beaucoup people in academia now. So I get for try for look like then I say well let myself la go find silent coat la come. But yes, we know say people in academia for the most part na English they like. But then the audience will try for reach. This na an important conversation. We're not just for this room. If you talk about tertiary and higher education, you mostly talk about families them, where they put them picking and through. I mean, their institutions, then they will not necessarily sabi talk English. They're not going to understand self to the talk. So now the reason and so just in case somebody they ask the question, which make na Creole lecturer then they talk. Which make the minister go talk Creole, which make the deputy minister go talk Creole. It is because we want for reach a wider audience. So just so we know. Yeah. Then I think say on the screen I also there is this QR code for you for sending questions. Yeah, so if you scan the QR code, it is all over now. You go able for access and send questions, and then at some point during the conversation, we'll go able for tap into the questions, then they and come back to the panelists so that they're able for so that they're able for reading our questions them. And then this now a timer primarily for guide the conversation. So for every single panelist we go get for there, and then they also go include Madam Minister in opening, go get a particular time. I think say not go exceed 15 minutes. And then we get 3 segments of the conversation what would you hope for generate and get now. So what would they expect say each one go last for 30 minutes. So we'll get for run through the panelists them in that space of time day. And we'll also go try for keep the conversation within a certain period because His Excellency the President who say, Madam Minister, come out 2 days here, supposed for day live and get for be covered. And I think say we owe him down there for make sure say as it begin talk today, wherever it is in the United States, it get for be covered live. So this program, time bound, in good time, get all the conversation that we need for get, so that we'll be able for linking back again at the United States for hearing from the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. I don't think so we get reach 8 minutes again. So hopefully we will start very soon. Salih Allah Muhammad.
Salona we yo, papa, salona we yo, mama, salona we all yo, for now when so they go. Salona we yo, papa, make me not well. Salona we yo, mama, make me not well. Don't sign no day na this world, wait it and tongue no go jam. If we take 10 kill them and them, we go see them go. Salona we yo, uncle, not to one my own. Salona we yo, auntie, now we all get out. We been there before we born, we go there after we don't go. Make we try for make them better, but then one we go get for come. Salona we yo, young boy, make me not well out. Salona we yo, young girl, make me not well out. One hand bamboo's not the shape, one finger not the big loss. If we all engage together, it go better for me and you. We own, brother, make we not well out. Salona we own, sister, make we not well out. Grandpa then left and give we, for make we safe pass among. Refugee not to find title, elect you catch in a 5-star hotel. Salona we own, diaspora man and woman. Salona we own, local man and woman. When we talk before we think, we must kill before we born. Make we learn for take we must, then turn we country to be graveyard. Salona we yo, fambu, make we not well out. Salona we yo, fambu, make we not well out. All other side then they be waiting till we just the fuck well. When we make we come to look, but that no do for make we look good. Salona we yo, na papa God himself give me. Salona we yo, he not give me for make we well. When strangers say they can't air, now then self they come for air. Make we left for make them take we fat fry we for feed we back. Salona we yo, na papa God himself give me. Salona we yo, he not give me for make we well. When strangers say they can't air, now then self they come for air. Then go take them make we feel good, and see don't knock on they laugh. Salona we all alone, for now when so they go. Salon na we yo, papa, salon na we yo.
Fumble them, now the hall, una morning, salon fumble them, una morning. We're about to start the town hall on promoting quality education on the theme, the cost of quality higher education, collective responsibility. Before we start, I ask for Lord we observe a moment of silent meditation, please. Amen. Amen. We minister, the moderator earlier we don't say we do this session in Creole so that everybody go understand what you would talk about, the conversation. The Minister of Higher Education, na Salon, the young colleague ministers them and deputy ministers, the honorable member of parliament, them where they represent with people, them, the vice chancellors and principals, all them and them where they take education business go before, we'll call stakeholders, and the students, them, especially the university students, them, and all we salon fumble them. Of course, if I get permission, for we go carry this session and everybody for talk in Creole. So that mammy within Abacha Street, with the Bont Island, with the Kailan, or Korobola, Goyeri, which we will talk about this morning. Even that fish mammy, because education business, planning business, now all man business, now this country, as President Bill see. So we don't beg them professor them, for bear we and not for giving them big grammar than today. And I think we get that concession day for move on. We then I asked so this morning, for when we talk together, when we get a proper conversation, how we for able for make education and development in this country sit down, fine one. We also want for see how we go make sure say this development in education go able for make Salon go before as we President Bill down the lead from the front. We all know say we come into power in 2018. He put everything aside and say education. Now for focus on land book business. Now go drive this country go before. So identify waiting and call for let mortar man get the skill, get the knowledge, the master sabi for move the country go forward, we then call human capital development. So, and we don't see say plenty development don't go on. We don't see the money we don't put in to education where they make people they know they pay school fee again. Some beginning they get food in school, then get transportation, that they give them textbooks them. Also, we don't get more teachers them. So we need for build on that. For let that happen, the colleges they need for the in a position for able to take that key responsibility they for let this country go change and change for good. And for let that change they happen, with college and with universities them, with technical vocational institutions them, need for they at the front and for make sure say them sit down fine and well. Of course, we know say government don't put this plenty money, 22%. With the support of development partners them also. So today, nobody not there will get this responsibility for move this forward past the universities them, for move them forward because now then they receive the end product. We don't see say universities them for their education day, it gets all things we need, waiting and call quality from teaching, learning materials and lecturers them. And for let the students then get waiting they need, you go need money, you go need the resources for able to do that, for get quality, especially in what we call the 21st century saloon. For make sure so institutions them, they not only they take picking them for go through, for numbers, but then get the quality they're able for compete and then fit for purpose, for drive this country and go before one and for also compete internationally. Today, we they make history under the minister and under President Bill leadership because I show you the light, the vision for move before this nation. For the very first time, we they get an inclusive talk together, family talk. We they come together and forget and say how together we go work and take ownership of this process and say government business, now all man business for moving forward, for address the problem, there's the challenges they move on the face. We've been on at this country sometimes and the college they lock, school they lock, but we don't see that again. We all they manage, we they put on for moving forward. So now all man business dandy. So we get people them. We get the right expertise. We don't do this for years. The lecturers, them, the agencies, them, the development partners, them, they come together today for talking at the panel. And we go focus on following and understand what's in they go on. How we don't they manage with the university them for push things forward. So we go talk about that. We go also look at say, you know, the world across board things them very difficult. What can we do for ensure, say, we get the requisite money, the things that we will need for drive things that let them go forward, follow education, sit down, find one at this country, and follow restore place. We will also talk about how the institutions then, based on how you perform in terms of quality, in terms of producing good products, now so you will get more money, so we challenge with institutions then for push that forward, which we call performance-based financing based on best practices. We also go address what's in the hidden issues. President Bill don't pay for picking in at school. You don't provide textbooks, you don't feed them. How then go college? How parents they go able to get that resources they for paid and tuition fees. If we pay small money, we will get that quality day. So we want to engage, we talk together and say, you know what? We'll pay the right fee so that we will get the right education and this country go benefit. So how we for ASAM up so that people then go benefit. So we'll talk about that. And also I think me for welcome now this historic institution for a big college. In 2 years' time, we will celebrate 200 years. What would we show? This conversation will show with our lights day on moving forward. So this productive engagement, I tell now plenty thank you. I tell the Ministry of Information and Civic Education plenty thank you for put hand on that way for move this process forward. At this stage, I welcome on all and I go ask that we turn up and say the national pledge. Pledge love and loyalty at all times, promise together help me God. Thank you very much. You can be seated. We can sit down. Sorry, I don't say we're going to forget that sleep day. And I mean, no more allowed to forget that sleep day. So now, I can bring to the table the people them who they can carry forward this family talk, who they can talk. The first person, now the person we will talk to the panelists then for bring out the main business who they are for. The quality education, how we go finance them. The moderator for this session, now somebody when a skilled politician and a communication expert. Now one of the face and voice of government and communication business in this country. Now key staff now waiting and call the Strategic Communication Unit now the Ministry of Information and Civic Education. Are they please, we are calling on a clap for him. No other person but my own brother, Imran Sila. We first guest na the panel. Now from the Ministry of Finance. This ministry a very crucial ministry in this conversation here, so we can get. Because forever, now they will always go to for money business. So I will welcome Dr. Ilara Madi, Deputy Director of Budget. The next panelist, now somebody we don't spend all in life on book learning business. Part of a current role, now for ensure say universities them, higher education institutions then comply to the law and then ensure say then give something of quality, we better the inside it. And not to no other person. Then find out the person this when they split they call it the University of Sierra Leone from Jala University. Now been the first Vice Chancellor and Principal. No other person but when at the chair, Professor Aliagin Mohammed Al-Ghali, when at the chair of the Tertiary Education Commission. University lecturer them, very important. And this talk here, so this farm will talk, will they talk. Now that we bring together somebody when I am the president for the Union of the Union of University Staff Association. So all the colleges them, the young president, now they talk to we. No other person but me and brother Dr. Brahma Gebe, president of this conversation now about university them. And the university they also the vice chancellor and principal by law. When then they lead, then get a young person, then say you were where you source. Now you don't know how they born you because now they are the front line. They know how they pass for ensure say college open on time, exam day on time, they mark the scripts them. And the representative now this panel today, not to no other person, but now a Professor Reverend E.J. Muno. We need for ask ourselves the question, say, private university then different from public university then? Or themselves they face the same challenges then of sustainability? Now the panel with we get a representative from the private university then. We Reverend Dr. George Anes Bamanja from the University of Makeni. Student them, now the end users them of the service with the university then they offer. Then are the primary client where the university they provide for. We know say when students they not get what they want, then go always cry. But we tell God thank you, say they also understand say they get a responsibility, shared responsibility for take president being agenda forward. So today we get the president of the National Union of Students, Muhammad Rex Bonafa. On the panel, we get the most important stakeholder on this education business. The one who really carry all the headache, but get that resilience there for smile. And President Blow in belief in woman them, say they will carry the load capably. We get our own minister, no other person, the Minister of Technical and Higher Education, Dr. Haja Ramatulai Wuri. We will deliver the keynote address for leading into this family talk this morning, sorry.
Thank you very much to the Deputy Minister of Technical and Higher Education. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In the interest of time, I ask Lord to allow me to stand on existing protocols. But I'm very, very happy for say with this town hall we don't plan for weeks. It don't happen today. It's very timely because we want to make sure we bring all the relevant stakeholders then into one room before the start of the next academic year. We'll talk on this very, very important topic about the cost of quality higher and technical education when our collective responsibility means in our all-man business. But I don't go start without saying plenty thank you to the Ministry of Information and Civic Education, where they don't really support we follow plan this. They don't work tirelessly behind the scenes for let this event happen so today. I also want to thank my ministry, the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, because they self work tirelessly. Me, I just show up no more today. But I really want to tell them thank you for the continued support as we work together for transform higher education as Salone. We know why we're there. The Deputy Minister don't tell me why we're there. So this conversation on quality higher and technical education is very, very important because now they reflect on how we develop with human capital. And with human capital is essential for growth and sustainability for any country. We know Sena Salone, the government, the current government under the leadership of His Excellency President Bio, always don't place priority on education. For the first 5 years of in term, free quality school education have been the flagship program. And for the next 5 years, human capital development now continued priority. And we all know about the big 5 game changers them. If we look through all of them, Feed Salone, Youth Employment Scheme, Human Capital Development, Digitalization, Technology, revamping the public sector. For me, waiting day where we run across all of them, now young people them. Because His Excellency no say any country, the most valuable asset of any country now in young people them. And if we not invest in them, we're not going to be able to get the returns on that investment. And we ministry, the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, we therefore protect the investment where the government already put into free quality school education. We all know what in that they mean. The finance, the money we can stop starting picking them for access education at basic and senior secondary level, we don't pull them. We therefore protect that investment still. What I always say, we the bills. The end goal, now forget us. You build the foundation. When you build the foundation, you the left hand so. You know left hand so you go up. You go up, you the roof, you finish your house, you furnish and you go inside. Then you don't get what you set out for do. And around the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. The government value education, but what we value even more, na quality education. Because quality education, they ensure say we young people them, we give them the academic, the technical skills, the soft skills where they need for let them be good professionals then. For let them take their rightful place for drive socio-economic development in our country and support the country in national development plan. So this conversation for we within the ministry, it give me the platform for let we pause, let we reflect on how we don't come off form, and also want for go, and then collectively we look at all waiting at the thing that we don't do as a sector collectively and see how we can raise the bar for ensure say we reach that end goal of quality education within with technical and higher educational institutions. We protect the investment of the free quality school education, and most importantly, we give young people then the skills them where they need for let themselves become positive agents within we country. So As I say earlier, we pause, we reflect, we raise the bar. As we reflect, we look on the gains we don't make within the ministry. Not just under my tenure, but even before me go there. A lot has been don't happen within the ministry. And also the hard work of the university staff them. And I don't we build upon. For example, some of we go down aware, say the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education recognize, say, we want for train with young people and for speak to the current labor market. We don't want for let them go through universities or vocational training, only for let them graduate and then the labor market say the skills the owner gets, not what they want. So for do that day, we do a labor market survey where we go back to a national development plan and we identify sectors that are already in our national development plan, what we don't call growth sectors. We go to the industry players then, both in the public and the private space, and ask them what are the skills they want to see in young people that will graduate. We use that information now for go back to the curriculum of them sectors and see say how is there any mismatch there? If it is, how would they make sure so we correct them? So that way we train with young people then for let them be in demand when they graduate because they get the skills the way the job market want. It also go support the government in youth employment scheme for create 500,000 jobs for young people then. Then they go make sure that how we go about for do that. They will don't talk with industry players then. We don't make them now, let them know say then self na partners then. Collective responsibility now all depend this. So they can allow we students for do placement and who don't know who's good work, we confident with students and we will do good work and one or two more say, all right, we graduate can work with we. We also they get partnerships them for strengthening quality within the system using digitalization, one of the 5 key priorities of the government. Currently, the ministry they talk to 2 big organizations them for help we further develop we education management system and we quality management system. So quality management system is something we do inside the national development plan. And combined, this education management system and quality management system will give you data. We will help you for inform whose policies they will need, whose areas they will need for strengthening, whose interventions they will need for come up with. Because data are very important for know what they do. We also ensure say we get equitable access. What I mean by that, regardless of who you do, if you're able to access education. We get universities then, for example, we know say Kono University, we know we get Kono university na that region, we don't set up one. We will look for money for set up another university in the northern province, the Ahmed Tijan Kaba University. We also are aware say not for just set up physical infrastructure. The world now na digital learning. We get one organization we are a part of, Commonwealth of Learning. We don't support the ministry through the Tertiary Education Commission for develop open distance learning policy. We go allow we for those who begin offer programs them online for we students them. But we know say we don't want for further disadvantage anybody. Because what I mean by that, we can't introduce distance learning. Then one student in our remote village is saying I don't get internet for access. They will not really achieve much. So we also work with other partners then. We get one organization what they call WACREN, where they work with for see how we can bring sustainable internet connectivity to all we higher educational institutions then and allow them for connect to regional experts then within the West African sub-region. So then an ongoing conversation. Recently, we meet with Starlink for see how we can add that to that conversation there because what we want now for lay it be sustained. We don't want for make internet today, tomorrow and all day. Because if we go digital, if we introduce digital learning platforms, they will go for make sure say all man able access them. But with all of them gains there and so much more, we get challenges the world they face. And then challenges so for face them together. Because the only way that we go own the solution them, and then in so doing we raise the bar. Some challenge them, physical infrastructure. in terms of, forget, for example, teaching laboratories within the universities, equipment within the universities. We also say we lecturers, we need for support them in terms of capacity building. So create that environment for them able to capacitate themselves. All them plans are how they do so, they fine. But the main thing we need for that are resources them. In addition to so many things them. I go back to the example where I give you the bills. We all know say we the bills. Who say the money day? Now can the finishing. Where the bill you also the finishing and then you spend the money. The Ministry of Technical and Higher Education and they the finishing there for young people them. So we need money. We need money within the ministry. And now the only way down there we go ensure say what we set out for do. For make sure say we get we young people and for take ownership for drive this country go before we achieve them. The ministry don't set up a technical and higher education fund for complement the government in effort. The government currently they spend 22% of the national budget for education for both ministries. Recently, the Ministry of Finance introduced a 1% education tax levy for add to Dande. But if we talk realistically, even Dande safe, not enough for what we want for do within the sector. So I make we say don't come up with a technical and higher education fund when a sustainable way. And we try for silo allow many other different routes then for get money we will use for address them challenges there so we'll get within we sector and build upon the gains they would already achieve within the sector. But all man get a role for play. This the ministry getting a role for play. The universities then get a role for play. They need to see how they can diversify their income streams then and bring more internally generated funds then within the institutions with a challenge for embark upon business ventures for see how they can use research and commercialize the research findings then. And we also see how we can use and link this back to quality. We earlier, the Deputy Minister talked about performance-based financing, where, as the name implies, performance-based financing, based on how you perform, now so you get money from this technical and higher education fund. Where they come up with indicators them, we're linked to a national development plan, we're linked to other regional and global education agenda that we know about Agenda 2063, the SDGs, we come up with indicators them, and we score with universities them. Based on how they perform, they be able to access money from the fund. But also you can help them for let them know how they can work together. If one university they struggle on side, the other they do well, we learn from each other for see how we all go together. But as we don't say repeatedly, collective responsibility, all man get a role for play. How the ministry get a role, the university then get a role, all the other stakeholders them in this room get a role, especially students them. When it comes for pay tuition fees, now that's the one big challenge we get within the sector. And if we can get all them them best laid plans here, but if we not get the resources then, if we not make, if the students themselves not value the education what would they try for provide, the quality what they try for provide, then a problem. So we use this platform for to get frank conversations about the implications where students are not paying their tuition fees. And I think we will not go shy away from them. This now we talk in a very transparent manner. We can't shy away from them. I will use Cornell University as an example. New university. I met the leadership a few weeks ago, and then they tell me say new university. And now reach 30% of the students we don't pay tuition fees. We need for address standing. It cannot continue that way. We need for value the quality education where we try for bring within the sector. And this is a collaborative responsibility. Only now that only way that we all go own this thing. Tomorrow, not so even if when we achieve that goal, we all go glad for say we universities then they do exactly what they want to do. Last year we organized retreats now, we called stakeholders them back. And I remember the students they say not for so no one pay fees. We not there against pay tuition fees, but for big quality education. We are leader and we could do all them tiers, so they embark on all them partnership here, all the initiatives they have to bring the quality where they asked for. And we believe say they say go match their commitment where they don't make say, then go pay their tuition fees because we all get for work together. One person not go left behind. We for go hand in hand for no move the education sector forward. On that note, at the end of the keynote, and I want for tell una plenty thank you for una come, una take una time out for joining me this morning. And I want for draw on attention to the screen where we will see a short video from His Excellency President Julio Madabio, where they talk about the importance of education for everyone when at the Yizu Mekugarea Sotidi. Plenty thank you. Now to
the 21st century, you know nothing if you not get something like that. If you not get something like age, whether vocational, technical, or sabibu, we will be able to live properly in this 21st century. Education that transform the least person for me able to achieve or reach the greatest potential through education. When we can, we not only recognize that, we also recognize that because of poverty, good people we not get money, they're not able to send them to kindergarten. When they could tell me job and say, we, Papa government, and provide school fees for all the people, and nobody knows what they're doing. But that free quality education will be promised, not to bluff you, not a necessity. Not a necessity, not to win, no more waiting at the city gets sense. In fact, the last result that we for Beke and Bas, Alabama, we had for also, and they get the best result. Which means, say, if we give opportunity to people then, they give them land, irrespective of the certain day. Because we are all global citizens. If you get able to be part of that global citizenship then, you will acquire enough skills then so that you will be able to contribute.
Thank you very much. On that note today, I think we will start the program proper. I want to tell plenty thank you to the minister for the brief overview in terms of what your ministry don't do with your leadership and the involvement of the staff now the Ministry of Tertiary and Higher Education. Just not say no more way. When we talk about money, then at the only time I see Dr. Ayla and smile. You know, saying a deputy director of budget, anytime we talk about money no more, now then you interest in there for see from a ministry own perspective as to but I just say we get an opportunity with regards to within their interventions and look like. Now, me particularly get an interest in this conversation. Today they asked me for do this wire. We make a get coat and tie. By October 5, I become a student. And I get me Professor Naya when I then oversee me in Ajala University. And so I want to get a sense as to how would they move forward, because I'm not going to be student for the next 12 months. I think I get another 3 years for do. You know, with which I not go talk with you, but I know I get another 3 years for do. And so I get a particular interest in this conversation. We categorize the conversation into 3 segments. One, the first part, we talk about sustainable university financing. Yeah, and I think it could be also interesting for notes from them, then private colleges, then private institutions, them how then they do their own, because my suspicion is being private means maybe sometimes the model slightly different. I think it could be useful for public institutions then for get a sense, right, as to what makes Unayun different to public institutions then. But then also from the news person, I will give everyone, panelists then an opportunity This segment will last for about 30 minutes, by the way. For the news representative, Naya Bonafa, what will be your own sense, how you go see them in terms of what sustainable financing mean in terms of outcomes, for students them, how una go interpret that and what it go mean for una. Yeah, because you get for note say from the university perspective, their understanding and their own take, it's about moving the university forward. It's about making sure they're able to meet the outcomes, them targets, lecturers, staff, and all that kind of thing. And this. So, it would be useful for us to know from the students' perspective how una see them. The second part we'll go into, in the second part of the conversation, could be the role of universities and quality education. One of things is also very key. And then thirdly, we'll talk about impact of financing on students and communities. Yeah. So let's start off. Let's go back now to the first part, and I'll go start off with Reverend Professor Edwin J. Momo. Me to be done, get a few interactions before he come, and I'm glad for meeting for the very first time now. Sustainable university financing. What does it mean? And what it mean in terms of the context right now, as to on a day, right, and the finances that were available to UNA, but then what it also means going forward. Yeah? So maybe 2 minutes, and then we can get every other panel for feed into the conversation. But then, as the panelists then they talk, if there's something you need for also plug into this conversation, we will help the conversation moving forward. Because, Madam Minister, I want them to be interactive. There is no point in having panelists, them, doctors from the university, NOS, Ministry of Finance, for consider and talk, and we just consume normal and listen. Right? It is also, I think, it will also be very useful and beneficial. Allow to get feedbacks in the process. So if you get something that you want for say for feed into the conversation, feel free. We'll always reach out to you and let you give your contribution very quickly. So, Professor Edwin, over to you, sir.
Well, thank you very much, and for this opportunity again for joining the Minister for tell me colleagues and Bokoboku Tenki, the Vice Chancellors, and also we Chancellors already in the audience, because now then give me the authority for work with the Ministry for come about all of this today. We talk about sustainable financing, sustainability. It looks like it's a big word. But when I say sustain, it means say if I go on and on and on and on, if I continue on and on and on and on, and that's sustain. So sustainability, is just that kind of way where you will do something, will go on and on and on. We know say the universities before this term, especially the public universities, we always depend on subvention from the government, and we also depend on student fees. Then two big funding platform now the universities they use for make them run their affairs. But we know say it not go on and on and on and on, because as we expand and as the needs and they expand, now so the resources then will become very small and small and small. So you begin a fair way now, how you able to continue with the education, especially at university level. Then we begin to look at research endeavors. Then we begin to look at business entrepreneurship. We begin to look at other funding ways that will sustain the university in growth. So today your discussion here, we did look at sustainable way for make the universities will continue for grow. As we move on, fortunately, I mean that the longest serving among me company them, Vice Chancellor now, in 6 years, I don't see how the financing will they get from the Ministry of Finance, with every thanks to them, it goes smaller every day. It goes thinner every day. Then you begin to ask yourself the question, how we go able to sustain the growth of the institution that with their small finances where they come, because you're going to get competing demands. So fee go be the best way. And if the fees for public universities, you know, will raise fees without the Ministry of Education. And of course, with reference to the Ministry of Finance. So, now fee not the best way. The question go still with we. They will go say no. Which way then for make we sustain the growth of the institutions then? Before this term, it been difficult to make we even work with funding institutions that like bank them, because if you ask for 500,000 now new loans or 500 million loans, then you get for seek no objection from the Ministry of Finance. And that kind of rigmarole for make you get that kind of financing, it go even discourage for example, the bank them for say, let we invest in higher education because of the bureaucracies that we involve. But now, fortunately, they can't see it again. So basically, we don't begin to see improvements in the way we will reach out to private institutions. And I mention this because need therefore also look at the sustainable way for how we run institutions with partnerships with both private and public institutions. I'd say private and public because we can still work with the colleagues and we're in the public realm so that we all go work together. We will work with the private institutions because they're able to invest in education. Since you give me 2 minutes and you allow just define them and allow other people to talk, but I want to use this opportunity for even go back again and say thanks to His Excellency the President. When he came in 2018 and instituted the free quality education, we immediately as universities say challenge the camp for we. Because by the time you know what's in the happening, 60,000 don't take the WASC or 60,000 don't pass for go university. With only 3 public universities and few private universities. By the time you know what's in the happening, number doubled to 120,000. And last year, I understand, say the number we matriculate for university education, now 246,000, 43,000. They kind of number, they're so big for we institutions for even absorb. We mean say we for find way now for expand. Find way for find money for expand so that we go to accommodate them. Madam Minister mentioned several ways just now. He talked about the open distance platform then we will all even explore. These are all ways by which one for find way for sustain we growth in the institution then. I go stop this small bit, okay. But again, just make one particular statement before I forget. You know, as the generation change, you see say what's in the generations they demand and their own outlook to life, it change completely. On the way this morning, I remember say, oh, me generation X, 1965, then 10 and day. And the way they perceive things, and today where they call them the generation Alpha, we got all the tools in their hand. Their own perception to the way things are run is different. But we'll come to that when we begin to look at the next segment of discussion then. Make a just left and so for my colleagues then.
All right, okay. Thank you very much. I'll call over to you right away, Reverend Dr. George Anes Bamanja. You represent private universities. What's in our experience in terms of some of what we know say now the challenges when it comes to public universities then, and how they cope, right? Because I should say all of the turnover the whole gets now, right? Where you get 5 WASC and they go university. Not only Professor Edwin, they no more they face that challenge there, no so. Una self the face because the numbers they go everywhere, right? Especially once now tertiary and higher level. Within now how una they cope, how una they deal with our own financing issues there now, and within our own prospects, maybe we can learn a thing or two in terms of within how una see things for the future.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, and good morning all. One thing I want to immediately say that we are private universities, no means say we do something completely different from what in the public universities they do. God's so good, we have just one tertiary education commission in this country, and then they supervise oversee everything we do. So basically, we run the same thing, we do everything, and we compare notes very closely, which is a very good thing. But then, one big difference between we private universities and public universities is the fact that we not receive subvention from government. So we have to go it our own way. And the main source of income are the tuition fees, which the minister rightly noted, Professor Omo rightly noted, they come readily. It's so difficult. But apart from that, again, there are times you get benefactors from one or two places. You have friends who say, okay, we see the good work you are doing, let us see how we will help you now. And they can, but that's, they can regularly, not just, and it's not reliable, count on that. Therefore, what thing we do, follow we able sustain. See, from the fees we get, now they virtually they try to do everything. But then, apart from that, we get units where they try for walk around and bring small income for the university. We get the social business development, SBD, where they're into poultry. And it's one of the biggest and largest in this country. And we produce now, as I speak, over 12,000 eggs per day. So that they help in some way. And this is an idea where we sell out to other universities and government officials. Let me see how we replicate this in other places because it will support a lot. Another thing we're doing to now, just begin aquaculture. Develop the aquaculture. We get fisheries, we develop fish ponds, we develop around the surroundings for see how we go able to raise something also from that. Then we're into small and medium businesses also. If you just entering the Unimac campus, the Fatima campus of the University of Makeni, you see the front buildings, and then the university get them and rents them out to people, to business people. The money not boku, definitely, but when it is constant, it adds something definitely to growth and development. Okay? When we start, we should be able to plan a bank draft. Go to the bank, the VC will go make negotiations, then give small thing, even for paying teachers. But with time, we know that the university, they grow, the students' population, they grow, it's multiplying fast, and it just don't give you the statistics of what they happen, how the thing is going so fast. And if you look at that statistics, we see we get a greater challenge for when we come together. That's why this is all the more relevant, Mr. Minister, that we come together and hang heads on how we will face this challenge. Education is a need. It's an obligation on the part of government, no obligation from government, but we gets a role for play. Every family, every Pekin, everybody will mean good for himself and for the other person and for the country as a whole. For no say, you get to put them together, whether public or private, for make sure say education go before. The challenge now how will they raise the money? Things become difficult from time to time. And another challenge we will get. Governments, they pay even the lecturers for the private universities. Okay? We don't take away a huge chunk from the daily expenses. We know they envy you now, but we feel pity you now the more. Because if you look at the numbers what they get, it's about 3 or 4 times what they get. The students' role, the challenge. So the challenge, definitely, as I say, the contribution from Ministry of Finance, they reduce every day, the quota they reduce every day, which means that they send a signal to them, say, hey, it is time for the all brace up. And that's what they try to do now.
Well, thank you very much. I'm not going to say when they do eggs as one of the means for able for, and I think it's useful, because for me, I think it shows when they think outside the box, right, in terms of not just relying on the traditional means that students then come, then pay. Thankfully, government, they pay on our lecturers them. And
No, sorry.
Did you not say so?
Lecturers, nothing. Now we they pay all.
Oh, now they pay on the lecturers. No. Okay, so let's just get that point clear. But there are no say for public institutions them where I say there is a 75% commitment, no so. As per the last conversation with them get with lecturers them over a period of 3 years. No say Ministry of Finance then commitment supposed to be 25%, no so every year for a period of 3 years in terms of salary increase for lecturers them. The 3 years done. Okay. in 3 years is finished. Okay. I mean, that was a commitment. These were things we talked about, right? So a worthwhile Fourah mention again, because I know say, as part of government in support, right? I know say that is something that government gave a commitment for, and that is something that government definitely don't do over the period. I will come to Dr. Ailara, Deputy Director of Budget at the Ministry of Finance. In all of them conversations there, you don't hear it from Professor Edwin and Reverend Dr. George Bamanja on within now government in contribution, and that then get a sense that not like I've been did sort of slowly, right? Just give me your own sense, right, in terms of those challenges, right, and but then also within now on our own view in terms of support, right, to tertiary and higher education overall, broadly speaking.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the question. I bring our greetings from the leadership of the Ministry of Finance. This kind of conversation very important because it will ensure say whatever we pull now include all the voices way related to higher education. It shows say this ministry and the government is very consultative and value the voice, especially of parents them and students when they use the education service. In terms of government, don't they do beaucoup for support higher education? Of course, the minister highlights say it has been part of the government in agenda, etc. Mainly with the support the ministry, with the support with subvention and payment of their staff, with the support the universities with subventions, payment of salaries since 2019. You talk about the salary increase where government's been promised. We don't do that day. We do 25% in 2021 and 50% in 2022. And all the other institutions, including professional institutions, where government they support, where they push higher education go before. Now this country, we don't do this. However, that it's not without its challenges. The subvention sometimes not they can when it for come. I not agree for say the subvention, then don't they go down. We've been trying to provide even more support, but there are challenges. Governments, in fact, as a government, we they look towards other forms of financing for finance, we own operations. So the Ministry of Finance, they go into thinking about climate financing, partnering with the public, with the private sector. These are all things them as a government we think about. So they also encourage the universities or all the institutions they involve for that they also look to other forms of financing. I want to also add in terms of the sustainability issue that in order for not only for continue, affordability is also very key. Many come up from Ministry of Finance. So anytime they put on pan, we get for no say this and something we government able for afford. It has to be affordable. Even whatever partnership the universities then go into, they ensure saying a way, then go able for sustain, then go able for pay for them. So even for the fees as we talk, part of the conversation, Yana, because we want for ensure say we come up with a fee where the students themselves go able for afford. So so you get a predictable income. If you put at a level where the student they not able for pay, they're not able for afford, then it will not be affordable. So we are asking with a big una say, una self look for other ways. There are a number of ways that we, universities, some of them Professor Edwin don't highlight. But we want to also emphasize partnering with the private sector. It's very, very important. It's helpful. The central government don't they use them. The universities themselves. This is a mode you can look. You look at a number of the areas then where they operate. Where then go before say, okay, how we go partner with private sector. The good thing is government what we ready for now for provide the enabling environment, the laws, the policies, whatever. Guarantees governments go able to make on behalf of the universities, we're ready for do that. So we're ready for provide the enabling environment, facilitate dialogue with private sector, facilitate dialogue with other non-traditional donors. The government's ready for do that. So I think these are some of the things that we then can tap into in terms of funding higher education in an affordable way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ilara Madi, Deputy Director, the Ministry of Finance. I want to come to Dr. Brahma Gedbe. I hope I get the name right. University lecturers, them obviously very important in this conversation. Also, if you talk about sustainable financing, I guess something for do tuna, right? In terms of, but then it's also about service delivery. Also, how for continue for keeping us excited in a sense in terms of the job they want to do. You are the president of the Union of Academic Staff Association. What's in your own view, right? How you see them, which you take with your perspective?
Thank you very much for the frank talk, and we're there today for establish the fact. I want to thank His Excellency the President for appointing Minister and Deputy, and also the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education for the good job that they do, because they don't do two unique things. And one, we met at PO, stakeholders together with the Ministry of Finance. We highlight a lot of issues, and we package them, and we see the results, because we see down here, so severance benefits for lecturers, they on, as we see down here, so the one that will be promoted, then they on the right scale. So I believe, say again, with discussion here today again, go yield another fruit. But sir, with all due respect, give me a chance, because I get all the facts.
So you can do that in bullet points for me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay.
The discussion, they put her in three categories. Of course, when you talk about sustainability, now the ability for let university for continue for run, and for let continue for run, now money, because any organization, the bloodstream, now money. Nobody no go talk that one, LFA. And let me take one category. When at the administration, for let the VC or DVC of any institution run a university, they need money. And USA, it depends for get money, I tell you for sure, the main source is from school fees. Yeah? So it's like the VC, they need money for let them run. But the question will go continue for ask. Did they get this money? Did they get them all? And they tell you so, no. Like and why all those things they happen. Let me take for example the students there. Good number of students there, they refuse deliberately for pay school fees, either for political reasons, either for any other reasons best known to them. So most often, because they refuse for pay, and they no say if they do one or two things, government get that moral responsibility for stepping. So that they refuse. Let's say, for example, there was a time Jala University decided for say, okay, at the ensure say let the student they pay. At a critical moment for seat exam, the administration become money very important. Decide say, no, I'm not going to allow them. But what happened? Those students went directly to the political arena and speak to government. So obviously, that student they get for enter and sit without paying. That's one main factor. Right? And what government can do, government can do a lot of SRGs, granting aids. And that granting aids, you get for give back money to the VCs for that ensure say they get money for run the university. So let's say, for example, you get 200 students there. Then you go give this is just a case study. Then you take out of that student 200, you give 70 SRG, right? The administration, they expect say that SAG where you don't give in the form of grants, you give back the money to them so that they go able to run the institutions. I want to tell you authoritatively, say, those monies never come in time. So the VC not going to forget money for run the system, which is unfair. Sometimes that money in Kawan accumulate over 4, 5, 6 years as I'm speaking.
Jala alone, they owe over how many billion they have not paid those monies. So how you go expect the institution for run smoothly? The other aspect we're very serious is that the system that are on the side of the administration, you understand, sometimes the student, they can connive with the registry of the institution for let them fraud the system. Let's not forget this, let's be mindful. They can even operate with the bank for ensure so they fraud the system so that the money where it be say the VCs forgets for run the institution and not can be at all. So we therefore look into that, how best we will close those gaps so that the VCs they will get money for run the institution. Now, let's look into the other situation like subvention. Subventions are not forthcoming. And one thing is, government does say, okay, the free quality we get for talk about, which is also important. I don't want to let you overrule the essence of the free quality. It don't bring a lot of people that are the doors of universities. Yeah? And so good number of students that they come in. Sometimes the leadership of the university can face with challenge. No, I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to take this. But the students that they out there, they take they come in. Now the same fees the administration they use for big structure. Now the same fee the administration they use for do other developmental things that are the campus. If these things are not forthcoming, how will you expect the university to run? Well, they say the same fee by now they take for pay the balance allowances way for satisfy me as a lecturer. If you not satisfy me, I'm not okay. Obviously, that will be another challenge. Listen to me. We have what we call SSG grants, which government delay accumulated universities are facing. We also get waiting at subvention. My sister and I had talk about that. This thing should be a right to the VCs. They should come immediately when university can in session. You know the accumulator which university open, the VC get a lot of challenges waiting for do fix up. And we also get to talk to VCs then. When their money then can, let them get way appropriately for manager so that the impact could be on the university. Because as far as the politician is concerned, they care about number. Let's say 200 are going to pay 5,000. What you go sit down an office, they calculate 5 times 200. Now they expect that VC they get, but in reality, not only the VC they get. So with VCs, they are tied up in managing the institution. We're not going to allow for let it go on smoothly. We expect also politicians let there be quality in the person. Listen, forget a degree, not to paper. Everybody get for area, say you get for pay for it. So if you don't say they don't give you offer now 13,000 a day, before government they plan for give you that 13,000, tell the parent they say let them pay the 13,000. So if government pay, they go refund the money, but they will refuse to pay that money. And we encourage the student they say let them be immense, think NAMI entity. They don't say I'm not compromise in that area. But I got a lot of things to tell you.
Thank you.
Authoritatively, absolutely proceed. Thank you.
Thank you. So, I mean, I would say all of what you say probably you say them differently. Yeah, but I almost certain say the universities they are aware as to the challenges there. It's also fair for say then challenges that don't happen for some time, so he actually precede minister, right? So he come as minister. I think say he also fair for say he precede me uncle Dr. Uwe. Yeah? So these are existing problems. But then that navigates with me could get in conversation there, right? How do we sanitize the system? In as much as you talk about you want to also include innovative ways. Right, for get revenue and go bigger and better with the kind of numbers they now where they get requirement for go university. So I think it's very important. Now, Mr. Bonafa, you represent students then. I should say you get the permission of, I don't say you get the permission of students then for dinner also and for be part of this conversation. What in our own challenges? I mean, some of the data and statistics that we don't see thrown around the table, where they talk about the number of students that actually pay their fees. I think about 30 or 33%, not more, over one over one academic year, and then, you know, all of the other things that they point towards, some of the conspiracy theories and all of them thing and they. How do you maybe own up, but then from also a practical standpoint, see this whole conversation, right, and how they touch and concern on more broadly?
First of all, I feel like this is not a teamwork against the students in this country. But before I come to your question, I want to say a big thank you to the Minister of Higher and Technical Education, Dr. Hajar Ramatulai, and the Deputy Minister, Mr. Sajo Axis Kamara, and the Permanent Secretary, because of the great work they do at the ministry. Previously, we not get this kind of platform as student leaders that this country forgets a kind of a platform like this. We get for do is keep business in this country. But since they take over the leadership of the ministry, everything we get for engulf around students, and they always don't bring we on board. For CC, we share the table and bring we own perspectives as students. They tell we all say the ministry operates on an open door policy, and we are very much grateful for the opportunity, Madam Minister and Deputy. Now, when we talk about sustainability, now we educational institution, it basically they tell we in the first place say the institutions they know they do well when it comes to financing their own issues. So therefore, now we all responsibility for come together and think of ways them how we for ensure say we continue for finance with institutions. News as an institution, in fact, we can run to them for finance. So let nobody not expect it. I go for can say, okay, news go bring this at the end of every academic year. Far from that. But one thing I say always, I don't take side with students. We don't advocate for things that we not be supposed to advocate for, because of fees. Now the people that's all supposed to represent, whether a good or a bad, now we own constituents one day. But when it comes to paying fees, I always tell students that for when we come on with kids, Nabu, I think I be getting interview cut across all the radio stations and television stations. Then they tell students, they say, we don't go take a decision, therefore we also get a responsibility for abide by them decisions the day we all don't go make. Therefore students that will pay. But I think one of the major challenges to who they get in terms of paying fees, now the fact say, now the first time this will get a high increment in terms of fees. We don't ever do experience that kind of thing there. We get students that they pay their 4,000, 5,000, but now they are paying 7,000, 8,000, some they pay even 13,000. And when we go for the with kids, we had an agreement, say for continuing students, it's going to be 25. And for the incoming students, it's going to be 30%. But the ministry and all university authorities can equally agree with me, say they go beyond what we agree on, but still we encourage students to pay. And we also need to take into cognizance the economic situation of the country. We all understand the education is very important. In fact, one of the key things where I always discuss on when it comes for pay fees, I always tell students, they say, as far as salon concerned, we they pay the lowest in the sub-region when it comes to fees. When you go to places like Ghana, Nigeria, they pay in dollars. Already they're in 1,000. But now we they pay in euros. So I always say, we're not even averse to pay fees, but are we getting the quality we would pay for? Now when they say 30-35% now they pay every year, but when they get the quality what they pay. Now equally want to tell the minister and all stakeholders present, say students that they pay for a lot of facilities, they will not get for benefit from. What is the essence of extra charges? Students that they pay for ICT fee. I have been at Fourah College for 8 bloody years, 2 degrees. Not a single day I don't get access to free internet. Not a single day I don't get access to computer. We pay for professional fees. We pay for field skip and other facilities. But we not get for enjoy the facilities. And if it's sports,
all the IPAM, a few institutions, they do spot last year. Meaning, we get administrators them, we don't siphon monies that we students don't pay last year to themselves. So now, the problems are always the come into play.
Let me just ask a question. You say you get administrators that we don't siphon. You get any You no be.
Students will pay fees.
No, at the camp.
No, at the camp to the course.
Yeah, I just want low guide the conversation well.
Okay.
Yeah. If you accuse or they say, when I listen small, if you make direct accusation and say people and siphon money, it has to be proven beyond all reasonable doubt. Then they border on law now. Yeah. So you can probably express your frustration and rephrase that statement today because it gets huge implications. If any court ruling there, any side, where they suggest with you to talk, then you get the freedom and the liberty for some. If not, rephrase them. You can express your frustration without necessarily saying people in siphon.
You say let me get a frank conversation.
Don't say siphon.
No, you say let me get a frank.
Get from the evidential. That's law.
I want to say something. You don't say let me say a frank conversation. And this not about the issues, this is about the solutions. But in as much as we get a responsibility for bringing the solutions, I think say when we bring the all that will make the conversation very much beautiful and sustainable as well. So now we get students them just like we would mention today, we get students that where they pay like 30 or 35% of fees. So inclusion. The fees include for pay for ESCA charges. So meaning 35 or 30% of students they equally don't pay for ESCA charges. So within the ESCA charges, you're supposed to get ID cards. How many students again at universities where they submit ID cards to? Even the national ID card. Even the national ID cards, you know they pay past 150 euros, but the university authorities are asking for more than 400 euros. So are we in any way saying the university ID cards are more important past the national ID card? So I think whilst we talk about the challenges, I think it's very important that we equally bring forward the solutions. We have facing now the more reason why we get a conversation of this type.
All right.
So one of the first things I feel say we need for ensure say there is public and private partnerships between governments, public institutions and private institutions as well. Well, it can be very frustrating where we get institutions, especially banks, where they do extremely well. You get student leaders then where they even write proposals. They submit to the people that they cannot consider them, but they support, they put their 500,000 euros, 300,000 euros into discordance, will not make basically any sense. So I feel say if they do that to students, government, they equally extend the same to administrators. So they equally need for no say they have a responsibility when they social corporate responsibility for equally give back to society. So I feel say that's one of the key things we really need for emphasize on. Thank you.
All right, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. And a lot clap for him. I mean, I can safely say we talk like Bonafide. I mean, for all the Bonafides that are sabi, I don't sabi this one now, and I know the connection. We talk like one pandemic, right? And I think say it is very, very sensible, right? And interesting points. Them I think say don't help for feed into this conversation. Let's just say one thing, Madam Minister. When you talk about the extra charges, then there. Well, I don't know if I want to put Sergio. The senior for me in college. By the time they come in, they left. It's very Fube College. And we I don't think so experiences them far removed though. When it comes to the extra charges, then they didn't tell them. That was the reason why I said some of the existing problems there. Antonia Mui there, look at their contemporary. That was the reason why I said some of the problems then with this way they exist now. It predates you. It predates me, Uncle Dr. Alpha-Ori, and you don't dare. So I think it's necessary for this kind of a conversation, right? How do we, moving forward, because I think say a crucial part of this, which I would like say, and how we envision the medium to long term for look like supposed to be how for sanitize. And as much as we talk about within the alternatives and how for being innovative and creative, as we Professor Bamanja don't say, in terms of ways for, source funding and able for expand and go bigger and better. Very quickly, I want to to 1 minute video with day on students them, so you can watch them. With day on students them reaction. No, do one quick.
Thomas Tamba Sandy. I then have the Division of Extramural Studies. I read Adult Education and currently year 2 students. I pay fees nearly 6 million. All waiting them outline when the fees I forget, the packages that I forget. I not get them from certificates. For instance, up to now I not get student's ID card. And I pay.
My name is Aminata Ajasise. I'm Fourah, Public Sector Management. I pay the campaign fees, they can say before exams, you pay fees, and when you don't pay fees, you know the seats. But when you pay fees, you know what you can for ya, you're able to achieve a lot. Because some people and they were not prepared fees, they can left out now when the seat exam, but you pay, you feel at peace, right? Because you won't pay and you have to go for study and it will be a stress.
My name is Sam Yayongai from Banking and Finance, study as students. Yeah, some like the lecturers been friendly and the lecture on time and come on time and it makes us students spend them 2 hours waiting for spend. It makes us students give assignment to them for give and also then they encourage you for study more for exam, then they encourage you for spy because they catch you the spy, definitely they for us to get you.
Of course, hi, Pamade. I did finally and I write my dissertation, being a business admin student.
Pay attention, please.
So we all know the country right now. Nobody know go and pay more fees. Or like we could just split on the university and through the heads of the university, they made them become considerate. Because getting money now is very difficult.
Well, my name is Kumbasi Afa. I'm a student of Fourah College. I'm a gender and diploma. Well, I'm not satisfied. One, we not get quality of buses. When class they go on, we stay for buses, unless we take taxi, we take bike. Some students they get accidents with a bike, we stay for bus. And lecturers and ash na exam hall. When you don't study, when they go for go invigilate we, but they shout, make this, that. They go for be polite na the class exam. Students and the way everybody in them different. You get smart students, you get weak students. Like for me, when exam day on, if I not sitting in an exam, I don't want bokuto because if I talk boku, everything they come out. So like I study tell the exam. So like when they find some example, they get for the one the more late to me because they recall and now university get now we fees the wrong work. If you repeat, it becomes painful. If you're not supposed to pay for me, then I can't repeat. A problem for me.
Thank you. So we don't get some feedback from. Pay attention, small, please. We don't get some feedback from students. Then I will come back to the panelists, and I should say the minister. Asiam, we take beaucoup notes and done. Definitely won't forget a bite, and it will get in fair share. I don't know if anybody gets any reaction to some of the incident. Professor Agali? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I congratulate Bonafa for in frank talk. But we also want to let you understand a few things, the dynamics of the university. The thing where you say sustainable financing. Well, waiting Bonafa talk, the issues the way it is, and the issues the way it is now the video clearly should say finance not sustainable in the universities. Because waiting they happen, now cut here, put here, and they take place. Nobody know the thief the money per se. But because they don't get sufficient money for run the programs, for run the university, so the money we don't come inside, then they get for use them. With man and the local are misappropriation. But people like him understand what misappropriation. Some of them to say tifo. It means say they say this tifo for use for buy water, but you go use them for buy flask. So you tell they happen not to thief and misappropriation because the finance is not sustainable. Now let give one or two things then. You know, financing the university now from fees, now from subventions and other ways and sources. Fees would all the things then we them they talk. For sure say the fees not sustainable or not to contribute to sustainable financing sufficiently. We get two sets of universities, public and private. Private, virtually solely, now the fees them rely on. The public then get fees, then they get subventions, and then get gifts. People they can give them gifts as well. Now, the other charges them, not to now it start. From time immemorial, even the tell yourself they may not happen at Jalo, because when you happen at Jala, I return the money, give them back. But we know say the other colleges them, then they collect fees, they not provide the services. It's been going on for very long. But again, because the finances are not sufficient for provide the services for which the university claims say even for. And even at that, even when they cut here, put here, the services are not adequately provided. You get shortfalls. And we for agree, thank God Mr. Bonafide himself talks here, now we get the lowest fees in the region. I think it's time for frank discussions on payment of fees. We get for look at the fee structure and see, we know say things stronger. Nobody need to doubt that. But things stronger, we get people who they pay school fee 2-3 times, wait and they're ready for pay for them picking in a university, now a private school. It happened. Look, church I'm just start. They charge $5,500. I know somebody will pull in Pekin. Now, one school, Karangode, is ready for pay $5,500. But if you carry university, you save $1,000. That's trouble. So let we look at that. This conversation must be frank. We get for look at what's in the fees they do. The other charges I don't talk about. You know, we get subvention. The person from finance say the subvention they go up. I disagree with her. In absolute terms, yes, but in real terms, no. You agree? You don't agree? In absolute terms, yes, but in real terms, no. Because when they give you 5,000 today, don't tomorrow they give you maybe 7,000. Convert them to dollars. We know they manufacture anything and I bring all things come. And every day the lecturers are then back. They want more salaries. They want facilities for teaching, for research, for this, for that. In fact, none of the universities not to provide adequately for research. And if research not there, I don't know how the quality of teaching will be. So that issue of fees, let we discuss them a little bit, and let we all agree that there is a need for let we increase them small. For let the universities then go able for meet the challenges and the roles. The next thing, the universities then, again, the vice chancellors then get a role. Go look at the act. One of the role now for fund funds for the university. I know they charge them maternity, but I will go for ask them, let them tell me most funds that they gain for the last 3 years at the various universities. Where they bring outside of fees or outside of government subvention. Minimal. The issue said then they go take loan na banks. This is why the CVC talk this not say they don't give them cash blanche. They can take any amount of loan. Now we thought they not go get permission. Without permission. Or not any amount. Because I think we should have a restriction. If we allow them to take loans, then go take loans and collapse the universities. It has to be affordable. In fact, we don't do one study, suggest say, when they project them fees for the year, any loan that they take for the year, not for past 10%. 10%, not more than 10%, because there are other areas where the money are get for go. Then, we know say some of them don't create enterprises. We don't know how well these enterprises are doing or what they are doing. We will have to look into that. I don't know of any of we universities where really, I know say they don't mute them several times. Even when myself, they will mute them. We create an endowment. We get endowment funds. And where they can go back to successful alumni. For let them help for bill, let them pay back. I don't know whether I'll get any of universities where they do that. Or where they go after alumni for let them give them gifts. I mean, if now the university make you, if now you train, when you become successful, you get a responsibility for look back and give them something. Most of the universities then, the children they do, we not get enough money, government not good money, that's particularly the public, they will make new programs then. Why you want to make new programs then, where you not get the sufficient staff for in the right quality and quantity for managing programs then. These are problems. I mean, one, they can't afford for pay. None of we university not get 10 professors. You know why? One of the reasons, the professor, the one they already they know the work for make them professor, and if they make them professor, the university then go collapse because they not go for pay. They not go for pay. So then they create new programs then. Then programs then they get issues with quality. Again, because the financing is not sustainable. Because this financing is sustainable, when they create new programs, they're going to make the provisions when necessary for let them programs and the quality assured. But they're not quality assured. And we are seeing that right across the spectrum. Bonafide referred to and said, no, they get what them pay for. You're correct. I mean, not they lie, that's true. You're correct. But una self, not they pay adequately for loan get, waiting really una forget. That's a problem.
Thank you.
That's a problem.
Thank you.
The minister, just 1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
In 30 seconds.
The minister talk about this state fund. I go later a little bit more about this state fund. I hope it's not to that 1% fund where then they talk. Because that 1% fund they put at the area is mostly for basic education. Now that's at the area.
No. So Minister Adepan Sheki, they say no, but they can obviously get the opportunity to talk on a number of issues then, as they don't come. All right, so no, which are they do? I mean, law will come, I can always give that back. But then I also want to do something, because as I've been saying, right, now 3 portions of this conversation we'll get. The first one have been sustainable university financing. Tied to financing also, they talk about the impact of financing on students and communities. So, Madam Minister, I think say, in moving the conversation forward for me, let's see if we can tie the second part. No, we can always. So, Nadande, I want to do so that we can forget a bit more space and room. We will tie the second part of the conversation now into the first, so that at least somebody can for veer off, piggyback, and come back, and come continue the conversation. So, I will give the minister time. Let's say what you want for say, Madam Minister.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you with how the conversation they go so far, because Nadando will be intent for get frank conversation about the realities of what's going to happen within we universities. Because only then we'll come up with solutions and we'll all go know, we'll all go give we ideas them on how to address them problems there are so. What we already established say, they're historical problems and don't do it for a very, very long time. But we're hopeful that if we create more and more of these platforms, we'll be able to come up with the solutions that we will need. And not for change overnight, but if we deliberate, it will make the changes that we will need. We don't already say last year, we've been get retreat. Now, we'll call the university stakeholders then. We'll go discuss the issue of financing with the university. And the fact that it's another agenda item today, it shows saying a continued dialogue. We're not solving it. But one thing we agree on that retreat now for say, the universities them for begin look at other ways for generate income. Now I make as a ministry, we take a paper to cabinet on how to develop a technical and higher education fund. Where, as I say earlier, go complement what in the government already they invest. It go further complement the 1% education tax, where Professor Algali, under my watch, it will not all go to the sick. And something even for that 1% education tax, let's just show how proactive within the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. We don't even find out what other amounts they in real monetary values. We get an idea of waiting at the total 1%, and then we go know now we go negotiate for we own sector. But not so that no more for bidding money, we get for the inside that technical and higher education fund. We get for look at other ways in which we can add money to that fund. And that fund we get for define what it's there for. It will get for provide access to education. We get for complement the loan scheme. We know about the loan scheme where His Excellency launched. We're going to see how we can support universities in terms of creating that learning environment, equipment, infrastructure for the university students. So we get your role for play, and as I don't say repeatedly, all men get a role for play. The universities also get a role for play. We encourage them for let them identify business ventures. Let them see what's in the thing they want to spend money and see how they can turn down into business. So that if now, for example, printing, there is sometimes they can get for go print outside of the country. Why make one no go set printing press now? Let the money stay within the country. Then are just one example. So many things and then where they can go and back upon, and we they provide the support and guidance for them to do that. But in most cases, they already understand that. We also get for ensure say we work for strengthening systems within the university, and then it cuts across from financial management to administrative systems that then go give you data, that then go help with transparency, accountability, efficiency. All that things they then go help with. So we ensure say the money where we they generate when we set up when we don't begin see money they can start with technical higher education fund. When the universities and don't they now at the forefront and they champion for generate more money internally, we get for ensure say the money then and they use them for in an efficient manner, and we can use systems for do that. The systems can also help you for address some of the problems that we don't discuss already. We know myself be there within university. Myself not being student. I know say sometimes as students you try for beat the system. But if we strengthen the system, then we go reduce down this small. So we know all of them challenges that are so old. We all there within the sector, we are familiar. So I'm glad you will be very frank and honest about these conversations. So if we set up those systems there, so we could able to address some of them problems there. So, and I mentioned earlier, so we already work with 2 organizations for set up an education, further enhance the existing education management system within the university, and also develop a quality management system, because we can generate all the money we want for the university, but if you not translate to quality education, what will we achieve? We will not achieve anything. So we need to get quality management system. We don't even think for introducing ranking at country level for universities them. Not for points finger say you they do bad, you they do waiting. No, as I always they say now for we encourage partnership. The resources that we get in the country will maximize upon them. If university A they do well, and this parameter, and university B they do well, let them talk to themselves and see how they can support themselves. Let university B come up to the way we want them. Because when one university fail, God forbid, now we all don't fail. So we all get for work together. And the issue about other charges, now thing where we don't discuss for over a year now. It come up now the retreats now both for say university students are not going to pay for services them, they not get them. We make them very clear, and the position of the ministry still stands. They're not going to pay for service, they need to get them. I mentioned earlier, say, we don't work with organizations and for bring sustainable internet connectivity to universities, because one challenge with the university students and when they don't talk, then they pay for ICT fee or internet fee, they get different names across the institutions and then they get access to them. So say, okay, let me see how we can support as the ministry. And we go work with the universities and for with that money, with the university, with the students and they pay for ICT, for example, and they ring fence them. And then show say a percentage go for pay for the service. And then the balance where they left, where they retain, now for maintenance. Because whatever infrastructure we get for bring for internet connectivity and money, we get for pay for the equipment them. And we go for ensure say we ready for maintain them as and when we need them. Not to where them broke down, they begin fair money. So when the students pay their money for ICT, these universities then go ring fence them and agree say a percentage of this will go towards for pay for the service. So the students and they get the service where they pay for. Then we retain small money where in case any equipment need maintenance, we ready there and then for do them. So there's no interruption in the service. That's just one example. We can use that model there across the other services the way the university and the students and they pay for. But I just want to encourage students and say, not to think we get for change overnight. Not to think for build systems, if it been a change overnight, we don't solve this problem. But it need a change overnight. We tackle them head on, but we do them strategically, one after the other. We don't do one, the lessons we learn from that day, the best practice we apply onto the next one until we solve the problem. But we want for the reform owner as well, and owner self get a role for play in all of this. All man get a role for play in this. I will stop here.
Thank you very much, Madam Minister. So,
yes, sir.
I come.
No, you got to allow me for.
Yeah, but allow me la.
Now you the moderator, but allow us, please.
I mean, I'm the superstar now. So I'll do a call. I'll come back to now. Wait, no, I mean, there's a reason. We to make an bring you in. I should say, Dr. Ayla herself gets onto you want to talk. I'm not a professor himself get. I mean, things that you want to talk, but I also want to guide the conversation and move on forward in as much as we get for piggyback on some of the issues there with it always. So, I mean, I don't know. At this point, I may ask the audience for, feel free. I want to let this team be interactive because so far, it's Alex no more, now one way. And at 2 I want to let this team go. So, if anybody get anything for say, based on the conversations that we had so far, feel free for call pen and say what you want for say. Golokata, and then I'll talk to the gentleman after. Yes. Zach, you help me with Mike, yeah? No, I'm not saying you get voice go, but
Thank
use
you.
the mic.
So so the first thing I want to tell the organizers when I thank you. But I believe say the private sector for sit down at this table. That's the first issue. Because in this conversation, public-private partnership now a critical cornerstone. So that before they at this table, it will be given sense how we relate to them. The reason why I say this, now because 2 years ago, the American government sent me go US for go learn from what they call workforce development and skills gap. One of the things that we will find out in the course of the training, now that government for provide equipment, now the universities would be private sector. Strong conversation, mining companies, construction companies, hotel and tourism, etc., and donor partners. By the way, then develop that synergy. It will able help for solve some of these issues. We have been there at the National Commission, one of the fund who projects them, we fund Jala University College in aquaculture program. A fund from Metimagai in hotel and tourism. A fund GTI and construction processes. Until we build a very strong synergy, we are never going to get it right. That's the first thing.
Thank you. You get another 30 seconds.
Yeah, the final part of it where I just want to say now that
With that, they also were able to talk about curriculum development, job placement, and career process, where the university is not able to get properly well it. But finally, the university says we not don't develop innovative funding mechanism yet. I can imagine where Unimac say they get poultry where they produce 12,000 eggs. Where the universities really will sit down around agriculture. What are they doing? So these are critical issues where we really need to make them understand and go back and really decide, say, we got for fundraise and make soberness around that. I think say that will help. Finally, and they say we want to do loan scheme alone. Do ya big? Let not ever post granting aid. At least not get small percentage of granting aid for very needy students. If they outside Ghana, Gambia, Nigeria, South Africa, then they run all the two schemes there. I think say that they will help the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You see, Golo, you don't raise the temperaments more. I see students them at the back. So, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, panelists.
Short and brief, sir. 1 minute, please.
For Lewide on the path of education, it goes through perseverance, patience, dedication, and hard work. Very few people can choose to go that path in terms of national development. And not that universities not get planned or universities are not producing. We produce on what we think we can chew. Jala University was completely teared down where the rebel war done. Professor Algali helped for bring her up a little bit. We not still look at that. They will say, let the university return forcefully. When we return, some of the areas where Jala before done look into for continue for put the past glories of that university. We are not part of any reparation price. And you they take small for let you build. Yes, we are talking about egg production. Jala is known for it. And Jala they do one. But we they do one on a very small scale. But we are known for it. We they kill cow, but we not kill for the whole of Sierra Leone. We they kill for the vicinity whose are we able to give the protein needs. We they make small farm. We're not going to do one for let feed the entire Sierra Leone for now, but the key examples are there. People that know when they produce new varieties. But waiting, we want for let we see.
I'll give you another 30 seconds.
Waiting, want for let we see we able to do. Will they talk about students? Will they talk about university administration or university staff? If staff they're not there, students they're not going to afford for their university. If students or otherwise not there, university not there exist. I think we need a very firm partnership between these two parties at the university development. One key example is that we get what we call in Jala University volunteers. They are here. They can speak of it within the university academic and administrative staff. They encourage them with the plans where they can with. Student union for keep good example of what then they do. Maybe public-private partnership, we get a way where we want for go. But in many cases, we cannot go that far because we not create the level ground yet. So I believe let us discuss firmly about these kind of situations and know that we're capable for doing. Lastly, income generation, we don't take up for now make sure say we produce with gowns and other facilities including other regalia on profit making basis. We are trying it, but it is on a small level. What we call financing, it depends on some other areas where we need for discuss appropriately.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I see there's a female hand at the back.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Fanta Stephanie, and I'm a student at Milton Technical University. Malta West Park Rio. I be there year one where I pay me fees 5 million, 10 years. So all of a sudden I get a grant because I was a female and I'm a medical student at Milton Magai Technical University. So I was fortunate to have that grant. Then at the point, I don't pay my fees already, where I don't put the list of granted students there. Yeah. So after my matriculation, my daddy sent me for go collect the money back where I don't pay already. But so from then the university tell me say government not send me money yet. Up to now, I'm already in my final year. Government not send me money yet. Then also, other students are complaining because this same money we have paid, other students are back when they get them outside for 100 millions. I get one of my colleagues by the name Aisha Takalon. He said na the same, a victim of the same circumstances.
You get 15 seconds more.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So they have them outside because of 100 millions. We already in 5 million gain at the finance office where they say government not send the money yet. Then too, I discuss something with my colleagues from other university. Lecturers they give excuses say when they come, we will not get transport for lectures. But I give kudos to me and principal. They ever encourage that. Philip Kanu. No matter who say you dey elect, you dey McKinney, you for can't teach. And no matter what you do, as long as you are employed as a lecturer at Milton Magai Technical University, it's your responsibility to deliver whatsoever you should do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So, let's just say we want to encourage more. If we get more students here at the back, we want for hearing from them. Students, we get any other female students? Yeah, no, come. Give that lady. There's a lady under. Jam, let's talk. 1 minute. Every contribution, not for last more than 1 minute. One question, if not question or comment.
Good afternoon. Well, this is not a question, contribution. Concerning this sustainable financing, some years ago, somebody tell me, say, during the days now, this country, anything where you just study, they make sure, say, the university create a way where you be able for put that study there within the university in your years. You are able for monetize them. How? For instance, now me they study IT at Ejala University. Once they go around, say a particular student develop a software so that we go before check we grade them online. But up to now, the university not approve them for where we use them. If the university be approve them and give access to students that follow you use them, you are able for pay for use them. Then that money there, out of that money there, this university they benefit a percentage for the use way they use them for check you grades them. Even agricultural students them when they go do agricultural studies, when you don't cultivate them, the produce you dey market them. They get time when you dey market the things the way they study, so that you dey able for you the university they get percentage from that marketing day. All that they save now money to the university.
Noted. Thank you very much. Very quickly, let's just say. The lady from Milton Magai, do you, I should say this, that talk we talk, the one that we did administration, they don't hear you. No, so from that 10 days to now, from today, yanda, till now, they say government not send the money you on a try. But I will advise you, go raise out directly with the administration, right? Let them go for sort down there out. Who's actually for talk? Yes, I want to take over under. That gentleman who wear coats like me. I become coach super me I make a call.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, sir. We welcome this particular town hall meetings because everything we get for do with education, particularly tertiary education, now we the students them. And for Fourah College, I will say me as a gender student. I believe say now two areas the more now we as students them, particularly in Fourah College. One, at the exams office. If today we see so many dropouts them in this country, now as a result of the exams office.
you dey get illegal way for go na exams for ask just for grade. Missing grades dey happen. Exams office na one of the biggest problem wey we want actually for let we policy makers dey able look into these areas. When you dey go na exams office for any problem wey you get, let the exams officers dem able attend to we amicably without any confusion. Please, we dey beg on this. Also, the student section.
Thank you. Lord, just take one. We'll take one more, and then we'll come back now to the panel. Yes. Me gender bias, so no, not blame me.
Hello. Yes, standing on existing protocols. We just want to appeal to the Ministry of Higher and Technical Education and the government also for allow the universities for really implement the robustness in collecting fees from students. In other words, when students are asked to pay fees before they write the exams, please make the appeal as a lecturer from Jala University for may they allow the student for pay. Because the last exams, when they stop students from paying their fees, you know, that interrupts the whole process of collecting these fees. Because we talk about business, we need capital. And we can generate it from the fees who we they collect. Some students be really get the money then for pay, but from where government intervenes, say no, we not allow them for seats. Now then they go back, then go eat the money then, and they never paid. So that is my appeal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will put a hold on them comments and questions from Muna. And you know, we can't continue the conversation, but then naturally we'll move on now with the second part because it gets something for good financing where now been part of the conversation initially now. So now get an opportunity, as I've been saying, for piggyback now and some of the issues that we want for talk about. And I can also feel free for comments on within another from the audience, and then I'll spend some time on the next segment. So the next segment, with the first one, I don't talk about sustainable university financing. Now we'll talk about the impact of financing on students and communities. No, I can't. I know what you do because not financing. Now wait for me. The impact of financing on students and communities. Naturally, for me, I just think, say, one, they lead to the other. And that's my idea. Now that make us skip the second one, a little bit. Sustainable financing, university financing, naturally gets a consequence. And one of the consequences will be impacts on students and communities. And that's the reason we to make a lot of tie them to them together. When I don't talk about the first part, when I get some things that I want to say. So I will start with Dr. Geber. You be a bit anxious. You want to talk something about the minister. So, comment on this second part.
Moderator,
piggyback on some of the things that you want to say.
Moderator, I tell you, boku, thank you. Yeah? And this thing we will talk on a serious business. And sometimes we will talk about serious business. Therefore, allow people there for talk the truth, and so that the solution will bubble up.
But so far, we don't allow you, eh?
Yeah. Well, I come to the points then first, because I don't package and for tell you, because we there for solutions. And this package what they tell you, so not about lecturer there, because a lecturer there they represent. If I come with the lecturer there, which will come up with a retreat very soon, will call the attention of everybody. We come up with a blueprint, a document, we will put onto the attention of government, so that then all we don't see. So just give me small chance like highlight. Now I want to tell the TEC chairman, boku thank you, why they come up with that new COS. They come up with that because they know have boku professors, so that for no day for pay them. That's a fact. They don't talk at today. I'm not going to bother you again. Let's come to the lecturers. To be frank with you, sir, we get lecturers in our university where they use the university in name, forget fund. They don't boku, but it's secret. The money they can, I don't know about the benefit. Even the motorcar that they asset there, that they use private number plate. So if you lecture a day, then at university, they use university name for get funding. Do ya their asset the way they left? Give university administration for help them run the administration. Not only property. Now the university you use for get that grant day. And it's going on, sir. Yeah. So allow me this now also with the hit so that everything will balance.
I just also want to let you know very quickly, Dr. Gebe.
Yes, sir.
I want to let you know so we get time constraints.
The other issue I want to talk about
is ability. Get the next 2-3 minutes. All
right. The ability when they talk about. Sometimes really the leadership of the VCs that is another challenge. Now be realistic. Some VCs when they give their assigned fund, they be a kind of demigods within their domains. When you govern somebody, make sure so let you know what they govern. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, people the way they do well, let me continue for commending. One of the greatest person when a very good leader in this country we need for Nema. We all know Malam O, aka Mongolistic. Now man, I want to clap for her. If we get one or two leaders of those people in this country, trust, things will be workable. Engage those who are subordinate with you. Let come up with your plan, let them buy and so that things will happen. But most of you will not get that. So how you will manage the finance? Well, you the manager with your own way because you get absolute authority for govern people there. We get also waiting very, very important when Bonafa talk, when I go be the last thing. Corporate responsibility of some institutions. For example, take Jala within a remote area, we get bank the way they manage, they get money. Basic thing, recreational center, we want to refurbish those things you give them. They can't. And let me tell you, Golokata said it. Most of these institutions where they compare ourselves to, not a government they fund. Now those institutions they fund them and things they happen. And the last one, sir, where you go give me chance now talk, let me step for compare. Hey listener, do you know the content of Sierra Leone to Nigerians? Those Nigerians came into this country where they land, they go develop their institution. They create an enabling environment. They create which university then at this country we get online journal, we lecturer they publish. When I tell me, they increase the capacity of staff, so therefore they have the right to increase. Both Jalasis will not get TK. Now the same TK with VC they govern, the same structure, the same thing. We thank God for Badia for Jala University. So what we are saying in this situation, we not get for compare. Things are hard and they are getting harder.
Thank you.
Those monies that come in within, let them be managed for people that don't survive in the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Dr. Madi, I will come to you, but I just say one thing very quickly. I don't think say it's wrong for compare. Yeah? For me, I think comparison aspirational also. Huh? Yeah, aspirational also. If we talk about how we can move tertiary and higher education forward, you have to be aspirational. You have to have a vision. No. You also have to. I mean, fundamentally disagree, right? Because I think you get to look to bigger and brighter examples and see how you can able to take you on to that point there. So if you're not a compare, then you lack ambition for me in life. Right? You want to do better. You have to do better. Dr. Ailara, now I'll come to Dr. Ailara and then I'll come to you, Professor.
Right, thank you very much. I think, firstly, for the financing for the impact, we to get for pay attention to now the management of the finances. In the public sector, we get what we call public financial management. So I go relate now to the universities. If universities then get for begin charge economic fees, then get for ensure say, the minister touched on that actually. Una get for ensure say una putting systems and processes in place for ensure say them money are one, as the minister been highlight, students and first of all systems go the way students are not go able for balance the system, you know go able for pay, then go pay and on time. Also systems in place for be accountable and transparent with their money there. So now governments we pay a lot of emphasis on monitoring, auditing of funds, public funds, account reporting. Then they also very, very important. Whatever money, every financial statement should be made public. Then kind of thing. Now then governments really procurement rules. So of course when you get for collect money, the minister don't highlight a lot of things the way the universities do and do. You get for procure services, processes and get for them. I'm sure they're already there, but they will need to be strengthened because anything when a taxpayer money they use, you get for ensure say you able for account to the people. So for let impact go there, for me now I think to say the systems need when I get for invest in systems them for ensure say una be accountable and transparent. Then the next step, of course, the impact is enormous. Boku benefits there. If you invest, if you get more finances, you're able for do more, provide better quality education where the student they want, where they pay, they want receive the services. They not. I think around the room now they don't talk. Want who they pay, but want for receive the services. Infrastructure will improve. The facilities them. We all know the building where engineer Tunde Cole build. When you go there, you see the type of facilities there. You know, compare with other facilities there. Some of we are fortunate for study outside of this country. Library services, then kind of services, then the way they access. We not able to get an because of course the funding not there. So with more funding, then they go improve. Of course, you go able also for invest in the lecturers them. That also come up where the minister said this is not the vision for the universities. They want for invest more in the lecturers them. So the quality of the education where they pass on will improve. Ultimately, what all this will lead to, of course, the student they will be better educated. It means say they will get access to better jobs. They are go able to transform the lives of their own families now. Because if I'm better paid, it means I'm able to educate more people than my family, I'm able to access better health services, etc. And of course, that means say the developmental benefits to the country, boku, the country go before. All this all they try to achieve with development plans them. Education very, very important. So if the quality improve, then we will see the developmental benefits we go accrue to the country.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Professor Gali.
Thank you. And I think say you wrong for that sit down. I say something with Twitter. I talk say no university that shall not get 10 professors.
The mic, sir. I have to check the mic properly. Let's see.
Sorry.
You can use this other one. It's okay.
Where I start, I talk say the finance not sustainable. Then I go ahead and say no university not get 10 professors in Sierra Leone. If they get 10, the system will almost collapse. That's what I said. I not talk say we bring COS for let people know and we deliberate not let people promote. Not give people a wrong impression. I think that is bad. No, at the cancer. 2, thank you. 2, the issue of say, not for compare, the chairman do address them, but even now we act, it says parity of esteem amongst institutions and their products. The act we now do work on. That is there. Go and check it. So must compare. And Sierra Leone to an island. If the world will go before they also will go behind, I was counting this. Honestly. So, but what time for talk, sir? This issue of how the education, the financing, the impact
of financing on students and communities.
I want to talk small on that.
Yes, sir.
Because the financing not adequate, we dey produce poor quality students all around. If you go now if you do a survey amongst employers, they all complain because the quality of students are poor. And the reason is because we not get the facilities, we not get adequately trained lecturers, we not get research for back with teaching, and so really the students themselves get to understand that what they are getting, you know, in statistics they say, Rebecca tell una, they say garbage in, garbage out. If we not provide, we just put garbage in, that garbage will pull out. So because it's not sustainable, the current finance is not sustainable, we are not producing adequately trained and qualified students. That I know I talk too
Yeah,
much.
no, I mean, you spot on. Spot on. I mean, you said to for talk. And I think, say, I get a sense, say, there is frustration, in which you say, but then also you more or less they ask for an overhaul. We need to get some serious rethink. Well, I think saying at the essence of within the Honorable Minister one for law begin so today, and this conversation will go end in at the end of this exercise, but definitely we'll take them forward and make sure so we get the relevant conversation at all the relevant quarters then, right, for able for reimagine education in the medium to long term. I will come to you, Professor Edwin.
Thank you very much. I've been seeing when they go back and forth with the points and we will for address, and we don't get much time now left. And I hope say this conversation will continue from here, because we not seem for even put a handle on anything yet. We just don't trigger the issues for say problem day, and we all accept the fact say we know to do well. The truth is, when they talk about impact of financing on the students, not only the whole institution, but if you watch, we recognize the fact that there is a problem and we need to address them. I will mention this. We all, waiting around this table, get a responsibility to each other. The students themselves get big responsibility to themselves and to the institution. When we watch today how students in there handle education itself, it really appalling. They don't want for institutionalize even with examination malpractice. And in which case, you yourself contribute to your own failure. Then you not go stand at par with then one day we Professor Algali just mentioned just now. Very often we as university administrators they wish for we students the best. Not to any boast, but just coming from the University of West Indies, Jamaica, the last 2 days, I realized that students themselves want to be better people when they graduate. You cannot compare that with real students in there because they don't get the responsibility to themselves. All they care about is, I want to get high grade and then I'll get them at every cost. But the problem is that we have not paid the real service to reserve. Because if we finance the institutions, each and every one of we will get responsibility to financing the institution and making sure that these institutions work. We go with one say, never put you money where so you mouth day. We go talk with frankness and the boldness for say yes, this person not do right, let we exempt them. The students if we get the wherewithal, we will provide the service for them in such a way that they will come out and be the real people in the way would they expect. But right across Salone, now the one big disappointment that most of we get, you will see right from primary school, where they actually transition, take our university, the person they don't already teach them for make it just continue for cheat, can't reach me. Instead of paying that money for make the institution grow, then they pay them for cheat. So let we transfer that particular energy for imbibe some kind of bad habits to begin them or to your brother and sister them and transport them into doing something good. I will end up with because we talk about which kind of impact you will get. During that time, they will meet in Jala University College. I will must do something where I go home for small money for myself for go back to college. Not to any castigation on the students them, but an encouragement to them. For said, they don't become overly lazy and dependent. Very lazy and dependent. that they don't want to do nothing absolutely. In my university, we dey give small scholarship to students them and call them students ambassadors. I bring that particular idea from Jala University with the NUVs. Now me and them sit down and perform the Jala University volunteers so that they go to shadow some jobs. How many of them now among students and I, we go out for can do small job on campus for raise fee for themselves? They won't do that. Even the one they say they give scholarship to, you hardly see them until the very last day when I go take examination, and then they tell and say, "When I go back and bring a note, say yes, you have been cleared." How many of them go say, "Wow, for do ABC and D on campus?" So it is our responsibility also as students. I mean, one of the students them for make unnecessary innovative ways them for fund yourself. So I wanna go pay on the fees them rather than evading fees. Last point, you can imagine that students now go to the banks, or they are then they fraud them for going to bank, and then defraud the institutions. Then money where go can't reach where they for pay like 3 million or 3,000 millions, they will pay 30 millions, and then they come with receipt of 3,000 millions, and that's been investigated. That's been investigated. We know they are for castigate anybody. We want to start this conversation so that when we go back, so instead of we are institutions, let me say they go again back on the radio with the permission of we supervising ministry. Let me talk about the issues. Then we'll find tangible solutions. This meeting today, I will give you all the solutions that we really require.
Oh, naturally. Thank you very much. Reverend Dr. Ernest Bamanja.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I want to go back to the first issue that flew into this. And I want to say, when we look at private universities and public universities, we serve the same people, the very same Sierra Leoneans all around the country, which are various public institutions, and then we safety serving the common Sierra Leonean and LP educational needs. So if we are serving the same people, we only try to meet the president in need, why should we be set aside when it comes to subvention? With private, yes, that don't mean say we charge extra fees. We are not. If we look at what government universities they pay, plus what the government is subsidized for, if we put all that together and charge, nobody will go to the private university now. And this gets worse even when it comes to government increasing fees, this 75%, which is a good thing. But can you imagine the amount of pressure we put on private universities? We'll get for 30. If we cannot measure up, they'll come up small. If not, then the left we go other side. Or then go on DPR, and he knows what I'm talking about, because we are the closest together in Makini. We know what you suffer. So we say they ask, Madam Minister, please, and all those concerned, let me think globally, think about the good of Sierra Leone. I think even the private universities need some push. We know they say treat me equally. Yes, we are private. Remember, like Unimac, we are non-profit. We are non-profit. We don't do it for make money for we save. We do it for serving the educational needs of the country. Okay, I hold that on the side. Then the other thing we want to talk about, the issue of slow or low payment of school fees, unique to private public universities alone. There has never been a time in Unimac where we say we get 80% of students who pay fees. No. We are going to receive series of letters asking this, asking that, several things. Well, again, we are a Catholic institution, so people then feel say, their father then get. But then we said it go the same way for the funds, relying mainly on the school fee. Okay? Now, looking at how this thing in fact impact on the students, on the community, and everything. When we get whatever we get, now from there we use, apart from the daily running of the academic year, now there we pull again for doing infrastructures. If you go now Unimac today on both Yoni and Fatima campuses, you will see several new structures don't come up. And this now for we're able to accommodate the numbers and make the environment suitable for learning. As I speak, we come up with postgraduate buildings, na Yoni campus, which is massive. Okay, so this is how we put into what we do. We also they engage now in partnership in research. They join with other people, other universities, whether within country or outside country, for joint research projects, so we attract grants. And these grants, they help the university in method community outreach. It help a lot, okay? It boosts research, and it empower even with daily teaching, okay? And as we do this, we also engage in pedagogical trainings, because we get lecturers in universities who don't get an educational background. Let's be honest with the reality. Yes, they are experts in their fields, but the educational background, they're not getting. So what did we decide? And thank God, TEC, this 2 years ago or so, 2 years ago, make a mandatory for every university for pay attention to those lecturers and empower them. So we don't start with them, and we are doing it constantly. We just done one this past week. Okay. Then, in terms of research, we also held early this year, the very first international conference as a university. We only get other conferences within, but this was the very first international one where attract a number of academics from many parts of the country. And that was also very, very successful. And in this we include PhD students too. One thing we want to draw, how it impacts students. We want to pay attention to what Professor Momo just said. I'll call on students' attitude to learning. And not only the students, even their parents. Now we don't come to a point in a salon, we don't want to pick in the repeat. When the picking not perform well, you say, oh, dear manager for me, like this, you don't big now. And a girl picking, you don't pull Bobby. It's just an excuse. They help the picking, they help the institution, and definitely now negative returns they bring on the country. We know they grow that way there. We therefore accept, say, if the picking not reach there, no push on there. Now the new phenomenon is, when the picking reach from class 5, it goes to 10 PSC. When it reach SS2, it goes to... But what are we doing? The picking don't even get the mental preparedness for go face that level with the push and let go, which is very, very, very wrong also.
Thank you.
Another thing where I want to face my colleague lecturers, we're very bad way they do. There are times, now we they make picking and they fail. Because we know say they don't attend class, they don't get notes, they don't get nothing, but all we do is pass 1 3-4 page pamphlets, let them buy and sign their names at the back. And they all get marks, which is very sad. We are killing the quality.
Frank talk. Thank you very much. So, Madam Minister, with the permission, I know say you take notes, you get a few things that you want to say. But they only you get the last bite. So which one, the one transition to the final topic. Yeah, keep on. Yeah, you will get an opportunity. You want? Is it 30 seconds? It will pass. Okay, well, hold on to Ram. You can always piggyback. I can't on you. I want to go to the final part now of this conversation where they talk about the role of universities and quality education. We don't talk plenty about finance, how it impacts students and communities. We don't talk about sustainable university financing. I want to probably focus now small on the university, and also the role of universities and quality education. And I should say, Unado already say a lot. Professor Edwin don't say quite a lot when they talk about university and quality education. The same with Reverend Dr. George Bamanja. About Guguna, one more opportunity, just in case one is only on few particulars there. But I will start with Bonafa. So Bonafa, you will get an opportunity in 2-3 minutes, right, for talk about impact of financing on students and communities, and then transition to this one. So now, I will give about 2-3 minutes.
Yes, pretty much so far the conversation. If you say a platform for basically gang up against students, but the way I would see the conversation don't go now, I feel say everybody don't agree say in as much as the student they get a responsibility, but the university authorities equally get a huge responsibility for ensure say the educational system in this country will become strengthened and sustainable for future purpose. So moving forward, think a very important that we get to understand a few things surrounding this particular topic. Normally, when I talk, I always take side with the students. Like I say, that is my own base. Now for their day. So I don't go come to public and say something contrary. But again, when you get for do it frank conversation, then we get for say we do justice to the conversation for instance, we get everything right. Because we know they do this for students and no more. We know they do this for ourselves, but we do this for Sierra Leone. Therefore, in as much as we are saying the university equally gets a responsibility, with the student they equally get a responsibility. If you can check my phone, constantly I text and call the minister, the deputy, the PS, for advocate for students on a number of issues. But for my community with kids and come, where I know say I don't really exhaust all the universities that don't communicate adequately to the student them on the importance for pay fees. Throughout this semester or academic year we pass, not a single person, not even a single SUG president advocates to the university authorities that for me allow students to pay, for me to enter an exam hall without the no pay fees. Because we know say now them money they have the university authorities they have to use for run the institutions. Moving forward, in as much as we pay them fees there, we equally know say the problem is the quality. The problem is the delivery. The problem is with the results. Waiting we basically they get a return. And they tell you say lecturers get paid at the same time. Some lecturers only they take students in per semester like 1 or 2 times. But at the end of the day, they expect the student there for just pass. We expect say this now university students for immature, for go out and fair notes. But we get lecturers that equally we're not even the gig guideline to students. So how you expect the students to be well guided for know the areas they for read and prepare for exams adequately. So in as much as we get with lapses, in as much as we get with challenges, but I feel say bulk of the issues lies with the university authorities. I feel say a good number of people at the high table don't agree to that.
Thank you very much. Dr. Brian Adebe. You said 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much. You go patient with me sometimes. I can emotionally charge.
Sir?
I say you go patient with me sometimes. I can emotionally charge. You never blame me.
It's okay. You're allowed to.
All right. The impact of universities, right? First thing where we don't observe, there is no link between the lower level ministry and the upper. I can tell you for free, which Tonya sitting over there can confirm. In the lower level, if you look the curriculum now, there are programs meant for AI and all the rest. How many lecturers will the university not prepare at higher level so that the people can study artificial intelligence? Let us be realistic. So they have reviewed it and they are not linking that review document with higher level. And if that happens, then there is a disconnection between lower and upper level and the upper. So you're not going to be able to urge the upper to prepare. And the same thing happens with the number of students and where they'll sit once and pass. Moderator, sir, we got a good number of students that way they over there now. How they get the result, that's another story for investigate. But we also qualify for internal university. But university not going to take them because they not get laboratory for take them, neither infrastructure or space. So they get for restrict, though they are qualified. So for let we get that service, let government invest in university. There is no magic. Government has to pour money in university. Like when we VC they say, go since what the way they pour, go to laboratories if they are doing chemistry practicals, physics practicals. And let me tell you, in the next few seconds along the line, physics will die. Of course, mathematics and physics they are on the verge. And which other subject again will go help me? So we have all political scientists and all the rest. These are things we need for regroup again. A country where they don't get people where they think and scientifically, that country is heading for doom. Right? Now let me come to another point, how university will get impact. You go to those institutions or ministries. We have consultancies that are anchor And only academic go able to talk something and come up play with numerical variables and interpret them so that this will human capital development with the error will get along the line that there is no data for anything. If I'm lying, go to the Ministry of Agriculture and say, if you go to Moyamba and go to one of that district like my district, Kamajai, what is there? People are doing it, but there are no records because academics are not involved in those records, so those things can be published on behalf of the country, and those variables they use for calculate this human. There is no magic over it. If you ignore academics, things will not work. Those consultancies anchored in those ministries will now begin contact the VCs and talk to say we'll get this, one lecturer they go able to engage in, we go reach now the community so that the impact will be created. We get people that will give the from good secretly, we better report no day, and they know they because lecturer they use that day for if you improve on in CV. But if you not give me, what you use impact where you really will like it. You know, let's be realistic. So you have to treat the academics very, very seriously. Institutions therefore treat universities very, very seriously for let things change. Let not talk too much, sir. No. But I tell like what they talk, say they enjoy me.
Oh, bad one. I can disagree small more, but I enjoy the conversation. I mean, you talk plenty in the right. The other side I will disagree with you again, Paniswaya. Now we ask, say, let government, let them invest heavily. You know, we talk about alternative source of funding for push
moderator, when lecturer they get for do this program, we think so. We invite you like go there. Those people who came into this country and build the land something.
Thank you.
Then go Senegal, not go far. Go to Senegal, the university research unit. Yeah. It's not talk. It's not talk. No, it's money. Now money they count money.
I know your point.
Now money they count money. You not go do an abstract. Now they can't land. We still go there. Now because we forefathers refuse to invest in where. So no do. And the mommy want talk self. He say I want talk on behalf of government.
I just want to say something, Dr. Ella, before you come very quickly. I sure say now this kind of passion I see I make una elect and also. As president of academic staff, una not miss him. Una not miss at all. I mean, they advocate for una. I mean, whichever I want to say. Dr. Madi Ailara, over to you.
Thank you very much. Very interesting suggestions and ideas. Then don't they come up? I hope say people in there around where they note the ideas they will come up with today. In terms of the universities, their role, of course, we don't talk over and over again, say the services will need to be provided. Then the next thing I think it would be for the lecturers as well, invest in the lecturers. Universities therefore take that very, very seriously for investing in the lecturers them, and also holding the lecturers to high standards. It has come up a few times about lecturers not teaching the full curriculum, etc., etc. Standards they need for the way for ensure say lecturer they teach, exam term, they conduct exam to a certain standards, etc., etc. The students then need for get a room for the evaluate the lecturers then. This is something that's not rocket science. It happen in other countries there. For all man fail. Now you class, it must be say now something you know they do right. And not say the student they not get problems, but for let person take joy for fail everybody now in class on a 2% no more pass. It means say the lecturer self get for be held to certain standards. So I think say it's about I'm saying you for invest in lecturers them, but as well let the lecturer then do what they supposed for do. But now the university themselves go go for come up with them ways and they waiting for hold these lecturers then to high standards. Of course, the students will not pay fees. I'm not able to understand. I'm not for saying for law for whatever. Now England is study. If I don't pay school fee, I know they get service. I know they go to class. Teacher no go teach me. You know what I mean? So if students, yes, there are issues, the economy where we dey. Now I make even this student loan scheme governments get for continue, for sustain and for find ways, for work with the institution where they not set up for ensure say it is sustained, so you go get more people go get access to education. But honestly, if the fees, I make I say important for let them consult with the student them, for let them go able for charge fees where go affordable. If you not pay, you not for receive, you for face the consequences. If you balance per exam or you want cheat, you for face the consequences. I think say these are issues the way, and also we don't. It's nothing new that we are saying, but let the university then be intentional in terms of putting things them in place for the lecturer, student to let all man face consequences if they not do what they're supposed to do. Of course, we don't. The main reason also start now in terms of the fact that the university then they owe now to themselves for now for think of ways for fund, because all of this now because money no dey. You know, for put monitoring systems in place now you need money. For put systems in place you need money. So we don't put onto the university and say una come up with things the way go make clear una attract more funding. The endowment fund Professor Algali talk on University of Salem, they are far advanced with that, but they need for complete, and other universities then can piggyback on that. For the diaspora then they boku they want give back to Salon. But some man, not for just the send for a family, they want impact on things then at the country, investments and projects the university then get. We can tap into that. As I said, the student loan scheme is one thing we work with government, we'll go try for sustain. Yes, governments go always continue for fund education. Then the development plan. But in the context of challenges with the fiscal situation, it's going to be difficult for just to pour more and more money. We go try, but waiting meetings say government get for do. As I say, I start off with saying we get for go help una for create the enabling environment. Yes, so we go help una for come up with laws, regulations. For example, these PPPO they talk about private sector, private partnership. The laws are there, but maybe it not go applicable to universities. We can look into that. Government will support una for that day. Something and they will need some small initial funding from government, seed money, like what will help with student loan scheme. Governments will help for do that day. We go help una for mobilize resources from donors. There are some donors they get money. They don't tell. They think say that governments will go now. Not know how they put them. They rather fund the sector directly. Universities can come up with things, projects where governments then will just serve as facilitator for facilitate for attract more funding. So these are the things we'll do. We are committed. As I say, education will always be a priority for government because of the developmental benefits. But waiting governments really want for help now. What we want focus the universities and for look to ways of alternate funding, and we go try for support to now.
Thank you. So we get the next 15 minutes. Yeah. For so we can round up. Of that 15 minutes there, Madam Minister, because you know the previous round, you don't say anything, and this was also said, you don't take notes. I think it's fair that we give them 5 minutes for round up on all of them conversations there. So between Professor Bamanja, Professor Edwin, Dr. Bamanja, Professor Edwin, and Professor Algali, you wanna get 10 minutes. Over to you, Professor Algali.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let's start first. Let's make a distinction between public and private universities. Public university in the government set them up, so government get full responsibility for them. Whilst private universities can be set up by some foundation or some group of persons or individual. We get money, we probably want for going to charitable causes. But some of them again are for profit. We agree say most of the private universities in Nigeria, except maybe for one, they not get foundation where they back them. We can ask government, if government get small funds, where they can support them. But for say you are in government for pay salaries and this and that, subvention, it will not. They can give you a small something. That's the distinction between the two. You know, over the years, particularly in the last 3 or so years, they see increasing numbers wanting to impact the university. Then get challenges. The university have challenges. And they not get infrastructure, they not get facilities, And this is the impact on the quality of the institutions and the products. We know say at times it's the ministry that the first name for take the high numbers there against these poor facilities. So the quality of the products them affected. I think the institution should be strong enough to say no, we do not have the wherewithal for take that number of students. We can only take this. They should be strong enough. But I don't think they are strong enough. They don't, and the country say when I take, then they take. Therefore, be careful with that. The lecturers, them, they get responsibilities. This how we day, they get plenty complaint, and we are coming after you. Because we know someone they teach syllabus than done. We know someone they teach at all. Now only 2 weeks to exam when they come, they don't get exam. We pick them, they fail, we don't have they talk, say no. They are the picking them well, they are the picking them no better. Like the ILRA say, if you were to teach, you get 60-70% failure. So you go with yourself. Definitely. So we are coming after you on that one. The courses them and the curricula them, where some of the universities then they do. I mean, they're not relevant to today's economic development and job opportunities. Kele, I think so. I don't stop Jared here. You don't stop Jared Greek and Roman culture. You don't stop them.
Yeah. No one and another again.
Some of their curriculum they're not relevant anymore. We not bring things that will go grow and develop this economy. I want last talk because we not get much time. 3 years ago, we do a needs assessment studies of all the institutions there. We came up with recommendation. It's a good document, 400 pages document. We'll get a short version which is about 60-70 pages. And there are recommendations. We don't engage CVCP. We don't engage the DV system. We don't write things that when they can do when they need money, but they've not taken on them. That again is something which we want for we look at. We also know say most of the institutions now get divergent admissions policies. The policies for admission, but I don't know how to change them. Some man they take waiting the leg, do waiting the leg. Then when they talk say picking do well, then we fail the picking. It's like some money no more institutions than want now. And we should move away from that image.
Thank you.
Money will defend. No,
Thank
not
you.
for money. We therefore provide a service and let it be quality service. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Professor Edwin.
Well, thank you very much. Since my last bite on this, for say thanks to all for this opportunity because I think say we owe on to each other. We talk about we roll as university, and when I watch my students them, I feel the responsibility we get as lecturer them and as academics them to we students them because that they get for take over from we. Waiting with they give them nine will represent we in the future. So but in all of these, like I say, we still get for get this conversation going. One of the role as institutions and now make we strengthen the partnership between we and the private sector or it could be public-private sector then. And I see the results when they come in, when you do the canteen and if you actually implement it. The second thing is, let me intensify research where it could be community-driven and development-driven. I've been doing our meeting with other vice chancellors in Nigeria where they talk about now, not just writing academic papers for make you get promotion. Now for get academic papers in way they actually speak to issues them within the community. And by so doing, you can even get a promotion way beyond what you expect. And so now we roll that. And I think we begin to remember that very seriously instead of just thinking of how we go get promoted quickly. Thirdly, we don't already mention them, the way we teach, not right. And we need to accept that. In a very Prof na member of the court. He don't see say we defect me we colleagues them because of waiting they happen we will not too late for see. We owe to we students them. I think this conversation, when we go back, let we really search ourselves through and see how best we could change situations. We don't talk about the endowment fund issue, and it can surprise me really when I can sit around and say, here we say we get a lot of people and we want for fund whether that diaspora. For me, that's lip service. Then we rather go fund both school. Sorry, both school people. When I secondary school, than for fund USL. It's very sad. So when we talk about establishing foundation, we're establishing an endowment fund. Honestly, with the lip service no more. Let me come back and say yes, we want for fund with institutions. With Jala University, just for close down. Yeah. Some years ago, when the Jala University turned 50, we do all kinds of things. By the time we come for the real celebration, how many of women in the room? Less than 20. Less than 20. So we should actually be thinking, forward thinking, and more so add on to what's in the happen with the word we come up from the finance for say people and they. If they can plan day, we need for sabi them. Let we identify them, then they can help we. On that note, we don't go back, but we want to make this conversation continue.
Professor Edwin, before I come to you, Doctor, I notice I don't mistake plenty today. I don't call you Professor. Not deny again, no. No, you yourself not deny again, no. Sometimes I don't see something far for you. Say something from this one now, they will begin calling you Professor very soon. Professor Edwin, you don't talk brilliantly today. But that both school example, and I mean, much not the deal. Both school example, you know the comment to. Bye tomorrow.
Thank you. I want to go back to Madam Minister. They say the analogy we use, but building a house. And you know the foundation is very important. We all know what happened at Fourah recently, the collapse of that building. Well, at the tertiary level, now we do the decoration, the painting, the beautification. Okay? As a matter of fact, now they give the final direction to the students in learning process for them it would be very useful in our society. Therefore, the task is enormous. Okay? But if the one way they come in, look at the strong, what it take for them you paint and find, it means say you get for go back. And this is one of the reasons we make there is a lot of failure. Especially when students in come year one. Because they can just from secondary school, some of them, majority of them, and they can still get you know what I mean. And for letting them fit into university life, by the time they catch up, they don't fail woefully the first semester. For past the other semesters, then I catch up in the place, so they are not really waiting. But again, what is responsible for this? Let me go back to the way we teach that with secondary schools. Okay? Salon, up till now, we still believe in this competitive or individualistic. All man for himself. That has to change. It depends on which way we self will think, say, the begin among themselves, collaboratively, cooperatively, can learn. If the teacher, the lecturer, guide them well. This is even more difficult than when you left and for learn for himself. Because that's what we go to, that's what we do. You go in a class, you give the handout, you say 1, 2 words, you guys go do research, you go and develop it. We are not helping them construct the knowledge. They just go and grab it and come back and present it. Now in the world of AI, it's going to be even worse. Even worse. Lecturers know already in the classroom, now when you give assignments, before you remember, they get the smartphones all around. So they can easily go to AI, smart GPT, bam. Copy and paste. I'm not saying AI is wrong, but develop your idea, then send it in to be fine-tuned. Then you get a moral grounds for claiming the idea there. But if you just go take all that person and put them, it's plagiarism. Thank you. But I mean, now, I want to thank you, the ministries, everybody involved for this. As Prof say, this is not just the beginning. We need more of this. And we say a lot of minds they think of what is the next stage? What's the next step? What can we do? We're ready for corporate and make sure say we bring the level of education who say we want lady. But we say we say we get to make the sacrifice, government get to make sacrifice, all stakeholders get to make sacrifice, but most importantly, the students can get to be ready, and the parents can get to be prepared also for supporting the students. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Before the minister round up now and give parting words then, I will take 30 seconds comment for the minister, right, and the ministry. Chancellor, yes. Professor Geval, can it be in 30 seconds, sir? We're pressed for time. When I call the mic for Professor Geval.
Yes, I want to make a few salient points. Number one is Tertiary Education Commission. I don't talk to you several times. You need to put up a robust mechanism for monitoring and evaluation. Some of the courses within the offer universities are not fit for purpose. You need to go there all the time and not say you are handicapped with finances, but you get to look for the money. That is one. Number two, we need a centralized university admission policy. I'm not the cast as passionate as anybody, but I think some of the results they get, they create a situation where saying that garbage in and garbage out. And then finally, the university students. The law they provide for involvement of university students in the university administration. They are on university court, at times we can appoint the FIGPC, and also the standing committees of the colleges. I shall say if the leaders they really attend these meetings and put their points across, a lot of these problems really in the camp, they pay for this, we know they get they will be highlighted there, and they will be solved. I will talk this in the capacity of Chancellor of Jala University. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Geval. I see the woman at the back. No, not to you, ma'am. The next one. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I just want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you to the Ministry of Higher and Technical Education, Dr. Ramatulai Wuri and Mr. Sajo Aziz Kamara and team for putting this together. The theme say the cost of quality higher education, now a collective responsibility. I think say a collective responsibility meaning that we don't invite parents, but I come as a parent because me became then don't attend this institution. But to the minister and the ministry, I just want to say, many years ago they say FBC was the Athens of Africa. Where are we now? It is a competitive world. Let we use this campus, this university, for be visually appealing to students and parents. But I want let me compare, for example, Ibadan University and Jimpa.
30 seconds.
Yes. Let we not get money, let we get money at the university. How for create the money innovation. Make a very high-tech, affordable internet services and facilities. For example, for bring money come to the university. If you make them, people then bound for use them if it work well, as long as not to Orange or Africell. Give them a different face. I think say down they go really work.
Thank you.
But then they say when you talk pan the dog, don't forget for talk pan the bone. Lecturers and students alike, do your part, play your part for bring a meaningful institution back to the limelight. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll get one more female voice now, yeah. The lady with the hat. Oh, now already the student loan scheme hat, eh? I don't advertise on a plenty lap now. We'll go talk the balance after this program.
Mena Sita Kaikai.
Yeah.
Mena chairperson for the loan scheme. Board of Trustees. First of all, I want to thank my ministry for organize this wonderful event today in Freetown, Fourah College in particular. I guess so many things, but I want to focus on
Do it in 30 seconds.
one
Not
thing,
you.
which is
30 seconds.
strong recommendation that this event be replicated up country. We need with district council chair people them for there, with paramount chiefs for there, women's leaders for there, comrades for there. May they not say this government is ready for help picking them education, is ready for fund the education for them picking them, but not so much them going for do. Them parents them for help the principal them for help the university them. Na kono akomot. We people that know say that kono university not to, they're not here for sit down. Me people they're not for sit down, so they wait for government for do everything.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And they make that strong recommendation.
Thank you. Before we come to the minister, we'll get some few slides in. When I do them quick for you, so that minister could just put all in one pot and give a response, and then after which I think now my own big brother Sergio Aziz, now the deputy minister, and I can give the closing courtesies after the minister don't talk. So the first question is, can universities run on tuition fees alone? Not just on snap poll. 77% say no. 77% say no. Universities no go run on tuition fees alone. 23% say yes. So meaning, I think this conversation necessary in terms of financing model, private sector involvement, public-private partnership, as the Master Sabi person at the Ministry of Finance don't say, and all of them in a day. The second one, how expensive is it to run universities? 82% say very expensive. Moderately expensive, 14%. Not expensive, 5%. So you see, I mean, in tune with this conversation also today, for run universities, very expensive. So, which are the best way for finance public universities? 82% say all of the above meaning, I think, say government, private investment, donor grants, tuition fees, and all of them. 82% say all of the above. But if we can down government subvention 9%, private investment 5%, donor grants 5%, and tuition fees 0%. So basically, a sample of some of the polling that we'll get. What recommendation do you believe can make the cost of quality education more substantial? Reduce tuition fees, increase government subsidies or scholarships to students, public-private partnership to fund educational institutions. 3, in some cases, expanding online and distance learning options to reduce infrastructure cost. 4, offering flexible payments plans for tuition fees. 5, reducing non-academic fees or unnecessary cost. Tertiary institutions to engage innovative schemes that may lead to reasonable revenue generation. I know better, I'll tell you now, there's more than they had a struggle with that. What recommendations do you believe can make the cost of quality education the same? Okay. So basically, these are some of the views that we'll get online. We'll be able to aggregate them for now. I'll go pass the mic over to the Honorable Minister for giving your intervention, and then I think Deputy Minister Sergio Aziz stand by for giving closing courtesies. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the conversation we're going to get today, very, very interesting. And as I said earlier, it will give you an opportunity for pause, reflect, and raise the bar. In reflecting, all the stakeholders then for self-reflect. So I'm glad you don't realize that we'll not create this platform for point finger at students. We'll not create this platform for point finger at anybody. Now, for all man knows say they get role for play, for no move the sector forward. So all man need for self-reflect. As much as we can self-reflect at institutional level, stakeholder level, let all man self-reflect as well. So the two questions where the panel then discuss, again, for the impact of sustainable financing on community and students and the role of universities in quality education. We all know the core functions of university: teaching, research, community service. Recently, I engaged with my counterpart in Zimbabwe. I say that should not be the case. It's all for include innovation and industries into the core function of universities. So why I read the point where Mr. Carter make about the private sector, we know the private sector, we cannot move into industrialization without the private sector. We need the private sector for be key partner. So we don't note the point for say they should be part and parcel of this dialogue. And we also know we need to ensure say the curriculum will not for train mismatch. I already talked earlier about the labor market survey we don't do for some sectors. And we plan for leverage upon the labor market survey where the Ministry of Employment, Labor and Social Security therefore do, for let's see how we can expand Dandy. And we also get for see how we get for make sure so young people able to get job. Because ultimately, how they get for contribute to community, they get for be gainfully employed. So we get for support the youth employment scheme, we go lead to social development within the social space, with socio-economic development. And I don't want for country, I don't want for young people them. In doing so, Bokutin and don't come up. We already established, say, the universities they need for do more in terms of generating funds internally. I like the point where somebody makes it and for do the business ventures and for link to something worthy of national significance. So the National Development Plan, now a good starting point. For the universities and begin to see how they can position themselves for support the country in National Development Plan. Because we get for create better linkage between we ministries, with departments and we agencies and we universities them. In the area of industrialization, in the areas of business venture, in the area of research. Within the ministry, we already don't start for see how we can create better linkage between universities and research. We don't write to all the ministries and ask them, what are the contemporary issues they want to grapple with within our sector? We'll get that information, or they collect them by sector and send them to the relevant universities then. And say, where the students go to the final year and they get for do research. The research question for be linked to this, then gaps here where we don't identify. Where young faculty members then want for do research for building capacity. The need for the design and research around the issues there, so where the government ministries and don't say, nine and they deal with now. Then they go help we for create better linkage between the universities and the ministries. We also get for develop a national research and innovation policy where go provide the guidance at national level and the universities and can see how they can align for support to that agenda day. And we don't hear some suggestion then for say government for invest more. Government already they invest a lot into universities then. Yes, I agree say there's a long way for go, but it's not a government responsibility no more. The theme collective responsibility. Government can invest, but also the institutions they also need for invest. Institutional investment, institutional ownership. What you invest in, you protect them. So there's so many things that we can discuss. Going back to research, when one key driver where universities then can use for generate more funds, how universities then can put together a capacity building grant fund, where young lecturers them, early career researchers then can tap into, apply for small money, seed money, then do small research. They use that if apply for bigger grants, we go come to the university and increase the research portfolio within the university. So this is now all things that we need for SIDO and talk about. And in the area of quality now they can't cheap. And they can't cheap at all. And for we as a ministry, it involves, say, creating the enabling environment for the young people. Then they entail, say, forget the equipment them, the laboratory them, we match with the curriculum model review, we link to the labor market survey. We lecturers them for be capacitated for deliver the curriculum. Then for now for operate the equipment them. Then for get soft skills embedded the word and they train the young people. Yesterday at the IPAM, they launched something on social enterprise, how young people we can train them for be entrepreneurs. Where ultimately what we want is for young people able to get job, let the country go before. So how we can leverage upon public-private partnership, how we can be very deliberate and intentional for build the capacity of we lecturers them. And I get to commend me vice chancellors and principals them across the board, both public and private. I therefore commend TC and the ministry. Recently we embarked on a major task. I'm not going for talk now, they keep on close to my chest. But we identify a problem where Dr. and Professor Galido already mentioned. And we can together put together a very, very ambitious proposal for seek for funding, for try for address Dandy. And me a very optimistic person, when we get them, and I continue for pray for we, when we get them, it will change the research landscape and capacity building for universities. And somebody make a point, I believe Dr. Gebe make the point about we need for link more with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. So what would they do within the ministry? Both ministries will say one sector, two ministries. We cannot afford for working silos. And we know they work in silos. Now we train the teacher them, where they go teach now the schools them. So we get to that platform though they collaborate. We are aware, say yes, and they teach artificial intelligence at that level. AI is a tool. Not tool. Would they work with TC? We'd already get our discussion there for see how we can come up with a policy for AI in education, ethical use of AI in education. So not a thing we know we're not aware of. We know being say we need for ensure say there is continuity. We can use the platform we'll get with bilateral relations we'll get with country where they give scholarship for see how we can get with young graduates them for let them go train in their field, and not just AI, machine learning, robotics, all their field and the way they emerge. So then come back, then can be the trainers and they can be the lecturers and for curriculum we'll go down deliver. So we are aware of Dandy. But I'm glad you bring that point today. So all this we don't discuss so. Not of all just talk about the problems. It should be solution driven. The deputy minister will come tell we what's in the call to action, what's in the solutions we don't come out of this engagement. And for me, certain things then come out. Policies. We need for come up with policies at ministry level in collaboration with stakeholders, and we cannot work in silos, informed by context-specific evidence. And we also need for strengthen systems. Whose and we strengthen them, whose and we develop them. Financial management systems. How we for work with Ministry of Finance, and we not for deviate from the public financial management systems where they get. How we for develop governance, strengthen governance systems within the universities. Because for the AC lecturers and they only go lecture 2 weeks before exam, allegedly, then we need to see how the governance systems within the universities are strengthened. We get vice chancellors, we get DVCs, we get deans, we get heads of departments, we get lecturers. How will they strengthen and for lay down they not be? How will they use technology for improve upon Dandy? How will they monitor and evaluate? And use the learning from their exercise and therefore further improve upon WeSafe. Not a thing where they shy away from as a ministry. So we therefore create more of these platforms so that we get these realistic conversations in, where in a way they hold we accountable. Because we don't talk the problem, but we don't come up with potential solutions. And we work together for address them problems there so. And we go replicate this at district level, at regional level, because the conversation not for ya no more. The other stakeholders, the way somebody be mentioned, I believe the parents, there's another group of stakeholders we mentioned. Yes, the traditional leaders, we invite them all. But we they go meet them now, we they carry the conversation, go to them. And this thing is being streamed live. We talk in Creole, so even anybody where they listen to this go understand what they talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think we don't almost come to the end, and we now. Dr. Elara talk about how we go. I think as something in my mind as you talk how we go rate lecturers them. That's a gray area in this country. Again, you boogie traps them because all too often. The moment you question anything as it relates to lecturer, if you not take to they fail, that you go for they get out of this country. No. Oh, I'm not being not for all. It is not for all. These are honest. We don't talk about honest, frank, and candid conversations. Then I are not all. My own vice chancellor, he's very very interactive. Every time we get me in a campus 9, they ask me, is everything okay? So there are exceptions.
Moderator, sir.
We know say for the most part.
I don't want to talk too much about lecturing. I don't maintain my peace. A lot of things.
But now why you not left me now?
I see all man they talk, but if you count the other side of the coin,
okay.
I they tell you say 99.9% of the Pekin and I'm class so they come on.
Dr.
They know they ever pass mass.
Dr. Gebe.
That is fact. Is that the fault of the lecturer?
Let us not go back again.
So let us left there today.
I am telling you.
Let us drink water. Let us not look under. Talk some team or lecturer. They don't forget about that.
Thank you.
There are a lot of errors along the line.
Thank
we
you.
need error analysis, please.
I am simply saying, without being critical to you, right, that it therefore be part of the conversation. How do we, able for, frankly, get a conversation around within our feedback and within students then think about lecturers, Simple and straightforward. Deputy Minister, closing courtesies. Not all to you, the talk now you need for leg. But we're able for tolerate the conversation and for able for move forward. Dr. Gebe, it has to be noted.
Thank you, moderator. I think Fambulem, I tell you plenty thank you. I tell the panelists them plenty thank you. I think this town hall, a lot way or more or less, it make you wake up to waiting at the role of university in nation building towards sustainable development. And I think we clearly don't able to establish that from this morning to this afternoon in 3 hours. We acknowledge also say, we take note of the fact say, we're not able to look at all the issues them and come with the action points them. But when we set out for this town hall, we've been very clear about the outcomes that we will be wanting to achieve. One, for letting increase your understanding of the status quo, what's going on, what's happening, and how resilient we have been, with the sort of leadership we will get in the country, in His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Mather Bill, the leadership of the ministry, and the leadership of the sector. That includes the education sector, the universities, then both private and public, how they're not able to embrace this vision, say, we need to build on the human capital development. So I think we're able to appreciate that. I think when the minister speaks, he speaks clearly to the issues, the topic today, quality higher education, the cost of higher education, pointing to the fact that now we're all business. We don't talk about the fact that we need to look inward. We know say there have been missed opportunities as a country for not able to create the investment, the right resources for investing with people them going forward. We don't get the wrong priorities, then that's a missed opportunity. But I think today we say, not to government no more we get for look up to, we need for look inside. Transparency, accountability, open up some other avenues then for investment. And I think as a result of this town hall, we will get for piece the report together. But also we deserve better, we demand better, we demand transparency, we demand accountability, that we should be globally competitive as well. The education we strive for is not about Sierra Leone. It's about being globally competitive. It's about preparing the young people, where the minister talk, preparing our young people that wherever they go in the world, they can be competitive. But we have given ourselves a responsibility to say we have a shared ownership in moving this forward. On that note, I wanted the panelists then join me for thank the whole country for what they don't listen to and the one the way they will treat at this hall by standing and clapping for them. We now welcome and the people that way they listen to me. Una can sit down. Una can sit down. Now I want with the audience them, follow we thank the panel for being so open, honest, and sincere in this Fambul talk this afternoon. Lord, clap for them also. The Ministry of Information and Civic Education, Minister Siba, for giving me this opportunity and offering in whole services then for make this possible. Lord, clap for them also. I can tell you, so I sat there thinking, sustainable financing. I think magic happened, forget this town hall. And we appreciate the questions, the concerns, the suggestions, but the Conference of Vice Chancellors and Principals, then 6 universities there, including with Baby Kono University of Science and Technology. Now then put money together for to get this event possible and the kind support of the Ministry of Information and Civic Education. Single-handedly, I became a bank manager, like my office became, and they were coming, like putting the money together, and we've managed it and we'll report on it, in a transparent manner. But we know say we will not have been alert to this process if President Bio not been wake we up in 2018, say we think we have done so well, but there is a lot more to do. I think President Bio deserves a round of applause. I think we have been shown the light on the way forward, and I think we have to move on. I thank you very much and have a blessed day.
On that note, Salih Allah Muhammad, peace and blessing be unto you. May you go in peace.
Mama, Salona we all young. For now when so they go, Salona we young. Papa, make me not well. Salona we young. Mama, make me not well. Don't sign no do na this world. Wait it and tongue no go jam. If we take 10 kill the ants then we go see them go. Salona we young. Uncle, not to one my own. Salona we young. Auntie, now we all get up. We been there before we born. We go there after we don't go. Make we try for make am better. But then one will get for come. Salona we young boy, make me not well. Salona we young.